Islam. Peace and love, everybody. Happy Holy Venus degree, right? Impromptu Improv.
Yeah.
It is the 20th day of January, 2023, Gregorian calendar, that is. And I'm here with my magnificent bros. You already know. He can introduce himself, though. Islam.
Namaste. Islam. I am Brother Hasan Ghaziel Bey here in Morocco at Northwest of Maxim. How are you? About to get my yay on my broski. Let's get it.
Yeah. Oh, did I not introduce myself? It's Paragon RICO. Act like you know.
Paragon RICO Bay.
Yeah, it's Honorable Albert Bay, all rights reserved, man. Yeah.
All right. Yay. Let's get it going.
But today, I don't know if you guys see the title yet. Rules for who, right? Impromptu Improv Rules for Who is the title. So we're definitely gonna take a look at rules today and kind of like analyze who they apply to, right? See how they can be used to your benefit, right? When you're dealing with people who want to, whatever the situation may be, right? We already know everybody has encounters with policy enforcers. Everybody has encounters with, legal situations, right? Whether that's through landlord-tenant situation or that's through some DMV driving, at the pleasure of the governor situation, or even something with, in family court or something. Almost everybody deals with, everybody pretty much deals with the de facto occupational corporate body politic on their portion of the land. So we're going to look at rules today, right? Because a lot of times it's like you're playing chess and they're trying to apply the rules to checkers to your game. Like, oh, no, that's not the rules. You got to do this. You got to, hold on. I'm not even playing that game. You're talking about rules for a whole different game. Like, we're over here doing this. Here's the rules for this.
Correct.
So then that's when you look at the rules for that and show them how it doesn't apply. But that's what we're going to get into. Rules. You got anything to add before I start screen sharing?
Maybe I should screen share and do our invocation.
Oh yeah,
right.
True.
It's all good, man. It's all good. I already know how we about to go in ski. I was just sharing while you was going in on your introduction, sharing on Facebook real quick, and then once we come back from our invocation in, I'll just go in on sharing with everybody else, those at the Jurisprudence Gym through the Jurisprudence Gym's Telegram, and also via matter of fact, I can share it to the Jurisprudence Gym right now. This is what I will say. I think this is an amazing topic that you came up with, bro. Those rules for who? You know what I'm saying? That's kind of where I'm at with that one, right? So I think this is going to be marvelously genius, as always, for us to really go in on concept correction, perspective-based concept correction. Because a lot of people, they get sensitive. I think they get sensitive and think like even Malika said in classes, they think that people are making fun of them. And it's like, we're not making fun. It's better than making bored, because the opposite of fun is boredom, right? So we're not making boredom with you. However, at the same time, you guys have to realize that there's very few people out here who are really going to analyze these things with you guys. And a lot of you just have to kind of get over like bitching and moaning, I think. Like, you got to get over the whole, oh, it's not fair. And okay, well, if you Moors know this, then why don't you help? I don't understand why the Moors that know and can help out won't just represent other Moors so we can all just do this thing together. Now, doing it together would be studying what we know and stop looking for us to be your justice nailed to the cross with the crown of thorns on, in the lower self sense of it, in the negative sense. I mean, there's a positiveness to that. That is actually having justice on your heart, right? Because when you stand erect with feet together and arms spread, your heart is in the middle, pertaining to those crossroads, right? The as above, so below, as within, so without type energies. And then what you can do, instead of looking, because this is how this goes, instead of looking for a savior outside yourself, what we're going over, you being able to find that savior within. And you are your own Jesus. All righty. Metaphysically speaking, we've gone over this numerous times in many other presentations. Jesus is the I am identity. You guys go to your Charles Fillmore, all righty, Metaphysical Bible Dictionaries, right? The Metaphysical Bible Dictionary by Charles Fillmore. And what you guys will see beyond the shadow of a doubt, right? What you guys will see beyond the shadow of a doubt is that when you go and look up Jesus, right? So why would somebody go and do something like look up Jesus in the Metaphysical Bible Dictionary? This is just a sidebar. We're not going into this, really. I'm just giving you concept correction because you're looking for what something actually is. All of your so-called religious leaders, most of them have these books. Some of them will probably deny it because they may be Masons that are clandestine, that can't tell you certain things because they're swearing a death oath and all these other things or whatever. Cool, great, fine for them. However, when you come to 7HealStar.com, astrology firm, we do assist. We don't really, when people play the violin and stuff like that and try to play humble on how they're asking for help, we're already telling you how to help yourself. And how you help yourself is don't believe anything we say. All
right.
righty.
That's what I was gonna say to add to your wisdom real quick, bro.
Right, go ahead.
If Moors had government in check, right? They had like certain organizations established or whatever. What happens if someone within that is corrupt? Wouldn't the being who didn't study still suffer? You see what I'm saying?
Got you. Exactly.
Yeah. So it's not like, oh, well, how come the Moors don't have this? How come you're not competent on what it is you need to be doing? Because if you don't know, it doesn't matter if it's a Moorish government, a European colonial de facto government, a Chinese, whatever type of, government, they want to label it, you're still going to suffer, especially if you're, these people want to play, they want to make merchandise out of you. They want you to play Monopoly. They want you to build all their buildings and stuff, manufacture all of their products, and then everything is free for them. And then you're out here struggling for the basic necessities of life.
Yeah, it's like, why? Like, that's like, we saying, hey, we're really good at certain works and whatnot. And then when it comes time to show and prove, then we're really, what it is that we're really looking for is for someone to do the work for us, right? And it's like, why are you looking for the work, to be done for you? Why waste your time posting senseless memes? I mean, all that's, I'm not knocking it. Every town has a crier. Look at this. Look what they're doing. Oh, they're doing this to our people. Right. You are much more effective in converting that energy from being a town crier to one who can actually solve their own sums. There's got to be something in your life that you're dealing with that you can actually solve yourself, right? I'm pretty sure there is. However, you got to be confident enough to be competent enough to move forward. So you got to be confident to build your competence. And once your competence is built, then you'll be able to eliminate the hypnosis that you're under. It's not even, winning or beating things like that or whatever, or I'm going to show these people. No, you're studying to wash your brain. It's been dirtied with hypnosis and social engineering. And you've been socially engineered to think that, oh, they ain't teach us this. And well, look, check this out. Here's the moment in time for you to teach yourself. Your own self-savior. All righty. Like, and then I'm like, oh, you guys know, and you're, look, like I'll say there was one message that I got. I'm trying to think who it was. It was somebody that had liked something there, did a comment. And it was like, nah, brother, y'all not arrogant. Something, it goes A, B, C best or whatever. I mean, look, I really normally don't do this, guys, but it's funny because it was this post right here, right? That brother Sean and I had collaborated on, and see that AB Cincy one. This is from Instagram, and it says Abby's Cincy Best. So I'm guessing because they're near the Cincinnati Corporation. You all have superb knowledge. Arrogance? No. It is time for unknown information in this Aquarian age. Keep up the heat! Triple exclamation point. Abby's Naturals in Cincinnati. Salam. I don't know who Abby's Naturals is. All I can say is that's the realest shit I've ever spoke from something someone wrote in a comment to a video collaboration that we had. So with that being said, I'm just like, all right, cool. What's next? And Brother Aura came up with this topic, rules for who? However, let me go and screen share real quick, guys, right? Just wanted to add to my bros wisdom since he asked. And it's like, I just really see what it is, man. You know what I mean? Me, I'm such a seemingly go hard that it looks like, you know, sometimes people think I say wrong things out of my mouth. However, if I actually had the chance to explain to minds that could comprehend my angles, and really it's only my bros and, you know, my beloved mother mistress consort that really comprehend the angles that I come from. Some elders comprehend the angles that I come from, right? A lot of other people, I know that you don't comprehend when you ask me certain questions because you be like, how? And did this work for you previously somewhere? So you're still using a mindset that doesn't capture this idea. The idea that you must capture in your mind is that you got to be the first to see you do it. Even if I told you that I ate an apple pie that was really delicious, how is that really making you confident in tasting your own apple pie that you bake? And the apple pie in this analogy or metaphor, whichever one you want to use it as, what it would be you having your own means to be confident, to be competent, to rid yourself of the social engineering and hypnosis that you've been indoctrinated under. And this is not a time to be offended. This is not a time to be upset. This is not a time to sit here and be angry with brothers that have information and knowledge that we're not saying nana nana boo boo, stick your head in doo doo. We know more than you do. That's not what we're saying. We're saying come along and study with me, my friends. That's exactly what we're saying. And you gotta realize that there takes a certain mindset that relieves itself from thinking that it has to work and punch a clock in certain ways. Well, how am I going to feed myself? How am I going to do this? How am I going to do that? If enough of us actually study, instead of looking for the few of us that have studied to solve everyone's problems, it's like you guys have to, you know, it's like playing basketball. You got to learn how to dribble. You got to learn how to shoot. You know, it's like doing anything. You've got to practice. You got to roll these things over in your mind. And so we're in the, like that comment I just read on Instagram. We've got to, in this Aquarian age, really be good at practicing concept correction confidently, right? And I'm going to yield from pontificating about on my soapbox now. And we can go into the Moorish American prayer here. My beloved brother, whom I'm well pleased, Brother R. Bey, is going to go in. This is Moorish Holy Temple of Science, Administrative Functions, pages 48 and 49. As you see on the left side on page 48, Prophet Noble Ali in his Moorish Sharif's fez, standing there handsomely, standing due guard, all righty, with his feet on the 45, which is how we're going to stand, except we're going to take our right hand and extend just two appendages, the index and middle. However, our left hand, we're going to extend all five appendages from thumb to pinky, all righty, and those in between. And I'm facing east already, and I'm going to have my feet on the 45 like so. You guys can repeat the Moorish American prayer. I like to call it our invocation in term, the Moorish American prayer. All righty. As prepared divinely by Prophet Noble Ali. All righty. El-Hajj Sheikh Sharif Abdul Ali. All righty. Doing religious corporate activity being. Right. So I'm going to yield the floor to my beloved brother, whom I'm well pleased, Brother Bey. Islam.
Islam, bro.
Islam.
Appreciate you. Just sharing this out over to Facebook real quick. I accidentally shared it with just the title and not the video, but we got it up. All right, Islam. Repeat after me. Allah, the Father of the universe.
Allah, the Father of the universe.
Father of love.
Father of love.
Truth.
Truth.
Peace.
Peace.
Freedom.
Freedom.
And justice.
And justice.
Allah is my protector.
Allah is my protector.
My guide.
My guide.
And my salvation.
And my salvation.
By night and by day.
By night and by day.
His holy prophet.
It was holy prophet.
Noble Drew Ali.
Noble Drew Ali.
Amen.
Amen. Let's get it. All righty. So let me go to the first letter to be read in every meeting. It is here on pages 84 to give the introduction, and page 85. Moorish Holy Temple of Science Administrative Functions. All righty. Here, and I've gotten this previously from RV Bay Publications. You guys might have to find out if it's still available there, right? And go and check to see if it's still there, or you may have to send an email to specifically get it for yourself. And that's, I guess, for those that sincerely study, right? Those of us that have this book, I guess we were able to obtain it during a time where it was meant for us to have it, because there are a lot of people coming post 2017 and have been duped since 2018 by Moorish American consulates, because they just seem like they just revamped themselves from that Joel Bratton Bay BS, right? Being naturalized or whatever. And so now you just got all these different beings out there that do not just really just show that you can really comprehend this stuff without having some greedy elder over you, micromanaging you, which is why I respect the elders that share what they shared with me, from Brother Taj to Mother Delilah to Mother Rashida Bey. It's just, share things, and it's none of this, do as I say, let me throw you under this hypnosis if you want this treat type stuff. Even Brother Hannibal shared books with me also. However, in moving forward, you guys can get your hands on the administrative functions, all righty, from rvbaypublications.com. Speak in an intelligent tone, and I'm sure that Mother Rosmariah V. Bey will be glad to render you a favorable reply. The following is a letter written by Prophet Noble Drew Ali on the 18th day pertaining to January, right? That was just the day prior, wasn't it? That was just Thursday, wasn't it?
Indeed.
Wasn't that? So that was 92, 90.
Oh, actually, that was actually Wednesday, I believe.
That was Wednesday. Forgive me. Correct. This is now the 20th. So that was 2 days ago. So Odin's Day, Woden's Day, right? Would have made 95 years since Prophet Noble Drew Ali has released this, right? So with that being said, on the 18th day pertaining to January 1928, Anno Domini, he commanded that it be read before every meeting. Excelente. Alrighty, administrative functions, Moorish Science Temple of America, Home Office, 3603 Indiana Avenue. Noble Drew Ali, founder, Chicago, Illinois, January 18th, 1929. To be proclaimed in every meeting. Dear brother, Islam, I'm glad to know that I have few faithful Moors among you all, and I desire for them to know the truth and the divine truth. There's a host of jealousy, quote unquote, about me in the movement now by the same people of our side of the nation that claim it was only a joke and unreal. But now, since they have found out from the government officials and the nations of the earth that this is the only sole foundation that all Asiatics must depend upon for their earthly salvation as American citizens, they're working every scheme that they can to disqualify me so they themselves may take charge of the situation. I have notified all these things to you long ago in the past. It is through the faithful Moors that contribute to the movement and uplifting funds. The ones that paid their divine respect to me and the movement will be remembered, will be membered again, be members. That is why I'm calling upon all faithful Moors to increase their faithfulness to me, your prophet, and your divine Moorish movement. I need finance and I need it bad. Never before have I needed finance as badly as I do at present, that I may shove aside the discord that is facing the nation. It's facing the mothers, because nations come from mothers. All right. It all comes through jealousy because of my, quote, fame and nobility, end quote, period. The nations of the world will not recognize the movement without me, the prophet, being the head. It has been proven by my work, in which I have performed in the last few months, because I was at the governor's inauguration to represent the Moorish Divine and National Movement, and I will be at the inauguration of President Hoover for the same cause. Noble Drew Ali. And just to give you guys a few things, finance is a means to an end. Check out the etymology for finance. Check it out in Henry Campbell Black's Law Dictionary, 4th edition. And those of you that are looking to access for certain books and things, yeah, all you got to do is, let us get to know you. Certain books, yeah, I only share when people ask for them. Because I did get a message and somebody was asking about, I think the Circle of Mothers and Sons when we went on it, bro.
Yeah.
I don't mind people having information. It's just talk to me first. Let me rap to you. Because sometimes, people get kind of love lettery, and I don't want to take it like they're just trying to sweet talk me to send something. I mean, it's your information. You're supposed to have it. I don't mind it. However, a part of me is like, let me hear who I'm speaking to, because I can read people respectfully. I'm not being slick about it. I mean, I can read your pictures, your videos. I can read your voice patterns. You can't really hide anything from me. The governor's inauguration, that governor that Prophet Noble Drew Ali, that inauguration that he was at pertaining to that particular quote unquote substitute Bey termed governor, was Lewis Lincoln Emerson, made manifest December 23rd, 1863, from Albion Corporation, Illinois State Republic, right? Albion, Illinois. You can go and research that yourself. Go back, rewind, and pause, right? Lewis Lincoln Emerson, made manifest 23rd December 1863, near the Albion Corporation, Illinois State Republic, right? And when you go and look at a chart for President Hoover's inauguration, you can see why there was a bit of a so-called quote-unquote Great Depression following, even though that's because Prophet Noble Drew Ali is crashing these service corporations, right? It's funny because the aspects looks like a freaking boat, looks like a sailboat. When you look at all the aspects together pertaining to that particular chart, which 9 times out of 10, the inauguration for President Hoover happened on March 4th, 1929 at 12 noon, because that was when they were actually, inaugurating so-called the so-called presidents before doing the January 20th stuff, which is this degree. Just wanted to make sure I make that point there. All righty. The second letter to be read in every meeting is coming from the Moorish literature, excerpts from the Moorish Guide newspaper. And again, Prophet Noble Drew Ali standing due guard handsomely in his Moorish Sharif's fez on page 12. However, on page 13, my beloved brother, our beloved brother, whom we're well pleased, Brother R. Bey, is going to read the second letter to be read in each meeting. All righty. And this is the divine warning by the prophet, not the divine warning that everyone's familiar with. It's just another divine warning by the prophet. I yield.
Islam, brother. Thank you. Divine warning by Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Prophet warns all Muslim governors to read proclamation at each meeting. I hereby inform all members that they must end all radical agitating speeches while at work in their homes or on the streets. We are for peace and not destruction. Stop flashing your cards at Europeans. It causes confusion. Remember, your card is for your salvation. Failure to obey these orders will be of severe consequence. B.A.R. love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And when these principles are violated, justice must then take its course. Any member or group of members who hold malicious feelings toward the temple or the prophet or violate the divine covenant of the Moorish movement will receive their reward from Allah for their unjust deeds. All true Moors will and must obey the law as laid down for them, or as laid down to them by their prophet. If they lose confidence in their prophet, they should turn in their card and button, cease wearing their turban and fez, and return to the state where I, the prophet, found you. This is a holy and divine movement founded by the prophet, Noble Drew Ali. So it sounded like when I was reading that right there. Let me finish that sentence. And if the prophet is not right, temple is not right. I remember we went a little deeper on that one last week too. But now I just noticed something else. You know, if he's telling you, if Noble Drew Ali was telling you, you know, this is a divine movement, you know, and if you don't have any confidence in me, what were we saying? What were we saying last week about the prophet?
Like you don't have the right thoughts. Your thoughts
Okay,
aren't
thoughts.
right.
Okay. So when he says, if you lose confidence in their prophet, if they lose confidence in their right thoughts, then you might as well turn in your button C's wearing your turban. But what I got from that was that the prophet was not scared to lose followers.
Well, because it wasn't about him being followed. Actually,
Yeah, he was standing on truth. He needed the people in a certain state of mind. He can't use you. I can't use you if you have no confidence in me. I can't use you. And it's not about using you because it's about uplifting. I can't uplift you. I can't use you to uplift yourself. I can't influence you to do what it is that I would love for you because you're my brothers and I love you and I want the divine truth for you all. However, if you're losing confidence in the right thought, might as well turn that in. You know what I mean?
Correct.
This is a holy and divine movement founded by the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. And if the prophet is not right, the temple is not right. Prophet, therefore, is sending out the divine plea to all Moorish Americans that they do their part in protecting their prophet and the temple. This is an everlasting movement founded by the prophet through the will of Allah to redeem his people from their sinful ways by order of Prophet Noble Drew Ali.
Islam. There it goes, guys. I'm going to stop the screen share here because Brother R is, man, I know there's a lineup and I'm just going to be doing my ad libs, right? Respectfully, even though like it's the concepts that bro and I really be going over, I think we can say these things with one eye open and kind of half snoring. I am not an employee. Like
oh no, I was just telling my consort that like when I'm sleeping, sometimes if I toss and turn, like I be coming up with new concepts on how to like deal with shit. You know what I mean? Like in my mind, I'm like, I might toss and turn and be like, you ain't got no jurisdiction. Like
certification is
I dream this. I dream the law. Like no BS.
Indeed. I dream of justice, all right, instead of I dream of genie.
Right.
Even though genie deals with genius, but you know. I yield though, bro. Let's get this, man. I already know. I'm just ready. I'm ready to do my ha ha. I'm serious, member. That's what I'm ready to do.
You know what's first, right?
Let's get it.
Gotta pound this one in, man. Article 1, Section 8. The Congress shall have power to lay and collect taxes, duties, imposts, and excises. That's 4 things. Taxes, duties,
1, 2,
imposts,
3,
excises.
4.
For what reason? Why? Why does Congress have the power to lay and collect taxes? We're talking about the United States here. This is the Constitution for the United States of America. I know I didn't even really introduce it because we go over this so much. It's just for those who probably haven't caught one of the videos where we go over this, and this is very important for correcting the concept of for who, right? The Constitution for the United States of America, North Continent, of course, presented in 1787, ratified in 1791, right? Article 1 Section 8. Again, right? So it can stick. The Congress shall have power to lay and collect taxes, duties, imposts, and excises, to pay the debts and provide for the common defense and general welfare of the United States. But all duties, imposts, and excises shall be uniform throughout the United States, to borrow money on the credit of the United States, to regulate commerce with foreign nations and among the several states and with the Indian tribes, to establish a uniform rule of naturalization and uniform laws on the subject of bankruptcies throughout the United States.
So naturalization then is a product of federal agent.
Yeah, that's naturalization in that sense. The way I see it, according to my studies thus far, is them coming up with a process or a procedure for clothing members, new members of their corporation with
So no, go ahead.
with certain privileges, right? That the natural born members have, or just by being born there or whatnot.
So that means that there should be no Moors out here talking about your English citizens. You should naturalize, right? That's foolish. Am I correct? That sounds foolish to me.
I think the two types of beings out there that might speak to this, one might say, they might say, that they're citizens because they're born here, right? They might say, oh yeah, or they might really think that get naturalized into this corporation or whatever. I'm not sure what they believe. I just know that I know for a fact that if you're naturalizing into this corporation, you're giving up your nationality.
You're giving up your nationality by naturalizing. Stop listening to those English national naturalizing Moors. You're going to get yourself hurt. However, if someone goes through that, that's obviously their fate then. That means that they were supposed to be lied to. They were supposed to have been duped, right? I guess that's what that's supposed to be. Shout out to those in the chat too, brother. Mother Energy is in the chat. Oh, I see you already. See, okay, I got to jump up on it. C. Thomas. All righty, Islam. The speech that you give that people are disgusted by is because they have not grasped the concept of your surroundings and how you were raised. Oh yeah, I guess I can agree with that. I overcame my opinions of your speech because you're younger, and I place myself in another's eyes and try not to judge. Islam. So yeah, and Mother Energy says, you are that which is, right? She says, happy holy degree. So happy holy degree to you all, being active and not passive, right? So yeah, let's go in on this, guys. And shout out to the 5 of you that are here. Definitely not disappointed by that at all. I told you, we're always thankful, guys, for when you show, whoever shows, however many show. Because it's about sincerity, and Brother R is about to go in. So that's why I'm yielding. I'm just going to be the one. I'm playing the role of, so to speak, of just ad-libbing and asking questions to assist in the concept correction to you guys viewing, and those that are viewed in times to and dimensions to manifest. All right. I yield, beloved brother. Islam.
So again, when we're talking about naturalization, we can even, and let's not get into that. Let's stick to the subject matter, which is rules for who. So when they're talking about establishing uniform rule of naturalization, that is not, they're not talking about, one, they're not talking about Moorish Americans. 2, they're not talking about the private men and women that are not part of the service corporation, that are not engaged in interstate and foreign commerce, as you can see that they have quote unquote power to regulate here, right? According to the Constitution.
You know what I just saw too? Just to add, Matt, I want to ask a question.
Yes.
Does that mean that they're collecting duties, imposts, taxes, and excises in order to have someone match them? Like imagine, right? If you was like, yo, I got 50 notes and we want to get this basketball goal in this basketball. It's going to be 100 notes totally, or 100 units totally for the basketball and the basketball goal. So what is it that we do? He's good. You can't hear son in the background, can you? Can you hear him?
I hear something, but
Oh, he going in on that PS5. You already know it's Fortnite, son. Bow, bow, boy.
It's all love.
That's not going in. No, it's all good. I wasn't bothered by it, baby, but thank you anyway. So like, all right, so look at it like this. It's like we spend 100 units to get a basketball and a basketball goal, but the only way we were able to get the other 50 from the 50 that was already on the table, we had to bring something to have someone else match, and that's to borrow money on the credit pertaining to the United States.
Right.
Right. So it's like, yo, we're credible. We got the credit. We got 50 right here. Can you match us on this other 50? Like, that's what that sounds like.
Right. Pretty much. And then they're using the uniform rule of naturalization to get more people into that.
Correct. It sounds like a membership program.
But so far, okay, so just looking at clause 2, 3, which is commerce, and 4, which is the naturalization. Where does any of that apply to us? Where does it say in the first 3 that Congress has the power to make rules for the people? No, it does not. Keep that in mind as we go through these bulletin points and tell me where you see that they can make rules for the people. So the fourth, the fifth clause, right? Because the first one is a clause. And we have 2, 3, 4, right? To establish a uniform rule of naturalization and uniform laws on the subject of bankruptcies throughout the United States. Of course, there's going to be bankruptcy throughout the United States because the whole thing is set up like a bank.
Like a bank.
To coin money, regulate the value thereof, and of foreign coin, and fix the standard of weights and measures.
Hold on. Scroll back up a little bit. So I'll make sure I'm ad-libbing this right. So, but all duties, imposts, and excises, it doesn't mention taxes. Does it say, because go scroll up a little bit more?
It did mention taxes in the first one.
Right, to collect taxes. Duties, imposts, and excises.
But in the second part, it says, all duties, imposts, and excises shall be uniform.
Shall be uniform throughout the United States. Now scroll down.
So that means the taxes are not uniform.
That's what it sounds like.
Which they're not, because when people go apply for jobs, everyone has different qualifications like that they put on their thing, and how much they get taxed changes.
Yeah, when they volunteer for the tax thing.
They volunteer to get taxed, and then they put like their dependents and all that stuff on there. And they could get more or less based on what they put, right? So that wouldn't be uniform. So it would make sense that tax is not there.
So is the only way they can coin money and regulate the value thereof is if all duties, imposts, and excises are uniform throughout. Like, it's funny to me because it's like we gotta take this energy from our members. We gotta take this 10% tithe from our general church, general assembly, right? Church. And if you look at this on the federal level, it's a constitutional convention. And for those members that needed to be granted a means to be able to have a constitution and bylaws for themselves because they don't belong, they're here on permission, they're here on license. All righty. And with that being said, I know when it comes to the United States, again, when we do the history, 35 more sons, 20 Muslim sons, which are Albion sons, are responsible for there being the de jure United States, the Continental Congress, right? So that's how you're an American citizen, because you're dealing with the Continental Congress, which actually, if you really think about it, Prophet Noble Ali is talking about you being an American citizen in the first letter to be read in every meeting. That's referring to the Continental Congress, right? To show you who actually is the head and those who actually regulate and watch over those that are the United States Congress. So technically, all Moorish Americans that are sincere will come to the mindset where they recognize it's not about having stuff, it's not about being a better slave because you've learned this. Oh, you need to learn Jonah Bey's debt discharging or discharging debt with Jonah Bey, or you need to learn the USFL way of being a secured party creditor. Do you guys get that is selling yourself back into slavery? That is saying that you're going to be a federal agent all over again.
No,
do I know them? No. Do I need to know them? No. What'd you say, bro?
No, they don't get that, obviously.
Well, because they're looking for the pot. They're looking for the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, laddie. Like, that's what it is, man. And it's like, don't you talk about their favorite more superhero reverse slavery, but yet still in slavery kind of guys. I mean, why? Just think. Do you think these guys have actually your USFLs, your Jonah Bays, your Sharon Tracy's? Who else is out there doing it for the finance and getting people to sell themselves back into slavery because they're respectfully idiots? Who's doing it? Let me think. And I mean, and it's only idiotic because you guys fail to really realize that it's something wrong with what it is that you're doing. You're selling people back into slavery. You really are. And you're doing it because your angle should be, why are people even speaking to you? The thing is, yes, Moors have fell. We can go and read the history, see the history. Yes, Moors have fell. Okay, we get it. Okay, get over it. Call the ambulance. Now, you need to take your place amongst the affairs pertaining to minds across the planet and be an American citizen. Again, that's going back to the Continental Congress. Yeah, so if you're talking Continental Congress, which actually supersedes what's called the federal level, if you're really intelligent, if you really know how to read your statutes, codes, and policies and laws and constitution for real. But some of us are actually real Moorish Americans that have declared and proclaimed our nationality almost 9 years ago. For me, it'd be 9 years coming in November. And really sincerely being on RV Bay Publications because I'm not looking for a microwave result to an issue or a problem that I'm trying to get out of. That's never been my mindset. My mindset is always comprehended like, this resonates with me like I'm remembering something that I just don't know what. And the more I study, the more things just kind of come to me. It's like I'm walking off a cliff. However, I'm not having Wile E. Coyote's outcome. The earth just happens to come up to my feet the more out on the cliff I step, you know what I mean? Or more away from the cliff that I step. And so with that being said, even with Brother R.E. now, I'm just having an unvelation in the moment. Pardon this really long ad lib. I'm just saying, it's just like, okay, well, if we're looking at this again, then okay, that makes sense with what we read in the letter to be read in every meeting. Okay, American citizen, then that means you're dealing with the Continental Congress because America is the continent.
Facts.
Whereas United States is an occupying service corporation. Let's look at it like this, and then I'll yield. The continent is like lasagna. So America's the lasagna, right? A mexum, anciently, it's a mexum. That's where you get old mech from. Olmec is where you get that from. Old mexum. So a mexum is where we are. The entire planet, though, because none of the earth is separated. It's just that you got some plateaus with peaks and valleys, and then you got really deep parts of the earth that's filled with water. It's all connected, though. It's not separated. You remove all the water, I'm pretty sure you're going to see all that land's connected. Seriously, just because it's not connected on the surface doesn't mean that it's not connected. I mean, my big toe is separated from my second toe from it, but it's not like detached from my body. It's all connected. Look, see my fingers? See how they look? Aren't they separated from like touching the tips? Pause. However, they're connected right here. That's kind of how Earth is. Like, this is your country, this is a country, and this would be an ocean full of water. Like, it's kind of like how it is. However, the point that I'm making is we have to actually realize that by us being the American citizens, we are the ones that actually control all government on the planet. So you couldn't have any service corporations really running amok if the Moors who fell from family feuding for thousands of years would finally, if you guys just get your fucking head out your ass and really read this stuff like we're reading it and stop looking for us to come to your fucking rescue. All righty? Because once you find you prove to yourself and show yourself approved, then you will realize like, oh, okay, let me do this. I gotta, you know what I mean? Like, it's a couple dishes right here, right? Like, I'm going to wash these dishes after I finish this live. I'm not thinking to myself like, see, man, what we should do is get somebody who's the grand dishwasher and the supreme grand dishwasher. No, fuck all that, man. Clean up your own mess. I yield, bro. Islam,
bro. The coin to coin money is another one of their powers, right? One of Congress powers, right?
Yeah, while they're making sure they collecting taxes and making sure the duties, imposts, and excises are uniform. I yield.
Islam. To coin money, regulate the value thereof, and a foreign coin, and fix the standard of weights and measures. To provide for the punishment of counterfeiting the securities and current coin of the United States. To establish post offices and post roads. To promote the progress of science and useful arts by securing for limited times to authors and inventors the exclusive right to their respective writings and discoveries. Ain't that funny? They're going to give you exclusive right to your writings.
So what is that? How does that work? Do that?
You got to become an agent for them first, because once you become an agent for them, your writings are theirs because you're a United States business. So basically, everything you do stems back to the federal government, just like whatever the municipal government does reflects on the state government and the federal government, because it's connected. Like you said, the toe is connected to the foot or whatever. You know what I mean? The lowest level of government dealing with, you know, the United States and the several states is connected to the federal. So at the end of the day, once you become something of the state, a resident of the state or whatever, now you're part of that chain, that food chain or whatever you want to call it, right? Therefore, your property technically is not yours. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not how they operate. You're looked at as United States business, franchise property of the federal government. You know what I mean? Especially if you're calling yourself terms like Negro, Black, and Color, you naturalize into a corporation as if that was actually, you know, something national, right? Because I'll wait if anybody in the chat or anybody in the future who sees this can tell me what is the natal bloodline of a United States citizen. I'll wait to see what bloodline is that. What is the United States bloodline? You tell me.
Yeah, it doesn't exist. It's funny too, because when I was looking at somebody return a post that I sent out, and it's funny because you went that they're collecting these taxes and things, excises, duties, and imposts to establish post offices and post roads, which means you shouldn't be asking me for postage, right?
Right.
So when you
didn't ask me for something to build the office, to enact the statute. You didn't ask me anything to hire the employees. You didn't ask me for anything. But now when I want to use a service, you want something out of me.
Yeah.
This is supposed to, yeah.
No, I'm just saying.
But that's because they're presuming you're a federal agent using the service. They're not presuming you're the people.
That's what it is. Exactly. So when I'm looking and seeing like, oh, they returning something, okay, I'll handle that when, you know what I mean, I get to the office. That's cool. Right. And when I see that, that makes me know that they're under the mindset of, you know, and it's like, okay, well, since I'm establishing a new relationship, let me go and speak to the heads, because I'm like a sniper. I aim for the head being in charge and watch the rest of their staff, their body, all the assigns under them just collapse to what it is that I say by pointing out what's in their own in international mail manual according to their 742.1 and 742.2 within their domestic mail manual, right? Pertaining to some foreign nations don't use. Look, first of all, you have a nerve, post offices and with your post roads, to call anybody foreign when we're seeing right here your foundation shows that you've been given license to have something.
Yeah, this constitution is a permission. This constitution is a permission. It's setting your powers and restrictions. You know what I mean?
Correct. And this is dealing with the boards, the commissions, the groups of beings who think they run something, your senates, your house of representatives. There are groups of people that have to make sure they don't infringe upon the rights that are owed to the common general sentient beings, which is why you have a bill of rights.
See what you're saying? So like the concept that I just got in my mind when you said that was like the public servants are like accounts payable. What do they call it in finance? Accounts payable and accounts receivable. Okay, so and then the people is like the accounts receivable. Like you, whenever you're dealing with that agent shit, that's all debt. Whenever you're dealing with the people, that's all credit. You see what I'm saying?
Because it's exactly correct. Because it's the people that make these entities ran by boards and commissions credible. They would not be credible if it were not for the sentient beings' co-signatures.
Again.
Co-autographings. Period. By the people, period. That's what it is. The people are making them credible. So it's the people credit. That's why go back to Section 8. Right there. To borrow money. Who are they going to borrow it from when if they're the United States and they're talking about their credit with which they're going to use to borrow money from or money with? Who the fuck are they getting to match them?
Those people who have conformed to their uniform rules of naturalization.
or I'm not knocking that concept, or the people that put them in powers, like you asked for permission, now you asking for something else. Hey, look, see what I've done? I sat here and I made apple pies out of your apple pies. And even though I owed you this back, and I got these for myself, and now with my own crew from our profits that we made after we paid the plug back, even though George Washington ran off on the plug. Now that I got this, now we're going to take our own members and ask for a percentage that they got out of the percentage we got from you. Now we're going to ask you now that this percentage that we got from our peoples, because we all made a little kitty, all a little pot to stack up our finances from what we made from with your stuff. And now we're going to see what we have saved up from, pushing your stuff. Can we have some more, please? Can you match us on this so we can do this next? That's what it is in my thinking. That's how I'm seeing
it. Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely it's not right. If I let you stay in my house and then my shower messes up for whatever reason, but you happen to have the room with the other bathroom with a shower, you can't charge me to use the shower in my house just because you have a room in my house.
Correct.
Like that doesn't work. It doesn't work that way. And what I was going to say is they run the hypnosis, right? Of them not knowing that multiple jurisdictions can be in the same place at the same time. Makes it seem like this is Morocco. What? Well, what the fuck are you talking? You just had North Las Vegas police rolling by, and then you have regular Las Vegas police rolling by, and they're in the same area. Like, what are you talking? Those are two different jurisdictions doing things in the same area. What do you mean you don't comprehend the fact that this is Morocco? Like, what do you mean you don't comprehend the fact that I'm not in the state? When it's defining your state laws. And the funny part is, see, they have so many different little things that they do to try to make you think you're tripping about the truth that you done read somewhere. You read some truth in law, and then you challenge them on it, and they have a reason or excuse why you're wrong. Oh no, that definition does not apply because it's in chapter 372, and our office is created under chapter whoop-de-whoop. So that definition is in a different chapter. It doesn't apply. No, hold on. If we're using words and the word is not defined in any of the chapters regulating your agency or any of the chapters for the statutes which your agency enforces or carries out, then we're going to find that definition anywhere in the statutes. And when it's found, we're nailing that. We're pinning that. And that's the definition unless you can prove otherwise. Because it's not about what you say, it's what you prove. So you put a definition of in the state that has any legal weight to it, to the contrary of what this says. Because until you do, I guess this is what we're rocking with.
Hashtag full faith and credit.
Full faith and yeah, indeed.
I yield. To use that to promote.
To promote. Oh, I already read that one.
Yeah.
To constitute tribunals inferior to the Supreme Court. To define and punish piracies and felonies committed on the high seas and offenses against the law of nations. Now look, piracy on the high seas. Okay, that has nothing to do with the people still. That's dealing with people who are in the waters, most likely, right? That's not most likely, most definitely. That's dealing with foreign commerce, right? That's dealing with trade on the sea and stuff like that. And then the law of nations, that's of course that's international law.
And again, this is to regulate their own employees, their own members.
Exactly. To declare war, grant letters of marque and reprisal, and to make rules concerning captures on land and water. If you go study this is called the captures clause right here. If you go study the captures clause, you will see this is dealing with war. Again, it has nothing to do with the people. They're not declaring war against the people. They're not making rules about capturing. This is not about the police pulling you over. Oh, I captured them. No, this is war talk right here.
Correct. Right?
To raise and support armies, but no appropriation of money to that use shall be for a longer term than 2 years. To provide and maintain a navy. Again, this is talking military, talking government. To make rules for the government. It's that one. And regulation of the land and naval forces. Again, are you part of the government? Are you part of the land and naval forces? Then how do their rules apply to you? Because I'm not seeing where they're making rules for you. To provide for calling forth a militia to execute the laws of the Union, suppress insurrections and repel invasions, to provide for organizing, arming, and disciplining the militia, and for governing such part of them as may be employed in the service of the United States, reserving to the states respectively the appointment of the officers and the authority of training the militia according to discipline prescribed by Congress. And here's clause 17 right here. Probably the most important one out of the whole thing, because it speaks to matters of jurisdiction, of legislation, right? Of enforcement of legislation. To exercise exclusive legislation in all cases whatsoever over such district not exceeding 10 miles square as may by secession of particular states and the acceptance of Congress become the seat of government of the United States, and to exercise like authority, and to exercise like authority, and to exercise like authority over all places purchased by the consent of the legislature of the state in which the same shall be, for the erection of forts, magazines, arsenals, dockyards, and other needful buildings.
Which means we don't owe you any postage, technically, really, on anything, provided we are not members pertaining to so-called Congress, when we're those that are owed a respect, protection, and preservation pertaining to rights. You owe us that. That's why there's a bill pertaining to rights, termed Bill of Rights.
And that's why all of their so-called laws and statutes start off as bills. A bill is a debt. So when they putting that in, when they're creating laws, that's a new obligation that they're creating for themselves. Why? Why is it a debt? Why is it an obligation? Why is it a bill to them for themselves? Because they have an oath to uphold the Constitution and the laws of the state. So when they create laws, they're creating more bills and debts and obligations for themselves that they have to carry out, that they have to create offices and get employees and store new officers in to carry this out. And this is all for the benefit of the people. It said it in the preamble. We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves. To ourselves. The people, we the people, to ourselves and our posterity, right? To the generations to manifest in dimensions to come, right? Do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. Why? Because they're being told how they need to do what they need to do in order to establish all of this for the people. So when we go back to 17, it's telling you where they can exercise that jurisdiction in the seat of government, District of Columbia, and all places purchased by the consent of the legislature of the state in which the same shall be for the erection of forts, magazines, arsenals, dockyards, and other needful buildings, such as post offices, Supreme Courts, or courts inferior to the Supreme Court. Right? That's a needful building. That's a place where they can exercise legislation. Right? Okay. So, and then lastly, to make all laws. Oh, wait, to make all laws for the people? No, to make all laws which shall be necessary and proper for carrying into execution the foregoing powers that we just read.
That's the executive branch. So it's saying that we're writing this for the executive branch to be able to carry these things out.
Yes, and all other powers vested by this Constitution. Again, where is their power to do half of the stuff that they're doing right now? Can you find it? Is it in the Constitution? In the government of the United States, or in any department or officer thereof. So again, rules for who? Rules for who?
The government and regulation pertaining to the land and naval forces, period.
Where's your oath of office and contract?
Well, semicolon. Doesn't say period. It says semicolon. I'm just making a note. And for those of you in the chat, Brother R's presentation is going to actually answer those questions that you're asking, honestly. And the idea is concept correction, complete concept correction. We're actually giving you guys the nitty gritty to what it is that we're really discussing here. And we trust that what you'll be able to really get from this is that there's a clear distinction. You're not a federal agent. These things don't apply to you. Statutes, codes, policies, ordinances don't apply to you. If you physically injure someone, though, however, you should be reprimanded, because that's a crime. You're creating When you create a corpus delicti, that's exactly what it is in Latin, actually. Corpus delicti.
Speaking
That is
of
a bodily injured party, right?
Islam,
So you saw somebody in the chat was asking about what they do in courts and stuff like that. We're going to
what's the
tell you,
question?
like,
What's the question?
well, it's really not a question. Actually, it's question's a little convoluted because I know that the question is based in their concept thus far, and I would much rather answer their question with what actually this is and repeat with that mindset instead of, you know, I'm not saying not have your own concepts. Let's say if you wanted to explain it to someone else so they can get the concept. However, we want you guys to really grasp what it is. You know what I mean? And what's actually going on is, see, the ships, when there was like teams of beings on ships, they would call it a company. So you have a company ship. And so when things are being spoken about with maritime and all those things of that nature, a lot of times, even in certain fraternal orders, they'll, you know, or so-called Greek fraternities, they'll treat their pledging experience and how they're doing what they do with ship terminologies. That's why you will get something like a rudder and sextant, so that you can comprehend what the Moorish navigators pertaining to the seven seas, how they conducted themselves, especially when they used the sextant to utilize the stars to navigate across certain channels within bodies pertaining to water. So what we're really about is, yes, we don't mind giving concepts so it can kind of get you to see things. However, we're more about showing proof and not just, you know, we're at a point where it's like, you know, it's a lot of casualties of war out there. And we're at a point where it's like, okay, if we really just give you guys the sauce, right, and you can't get it right, then okay, good. It was really meant for you to not get it right, period. You're just supposed to be a casualty of war. You're supposed to fall on your fucking face, you know, because obviously there's something in your DNA and your makeup that you're just supposed to be a fuck up. Flat out. And I think the best thing would be for those to do is really comprehend. Look at the title again. What's our title here?
Rules for who?
Rules for who? Rules for what?
Rules for the government. So show me how you work for the government.
Yeah, and we're not talking about the government. Like, government we know is mind
rulership.
Rulership. Government succinctly starts with family. We get that, right? However, and where do families come from? They come from mother. We get that. What you have now on the land operating is a lot of beings who claim to be upholders of the Constitution against all violators, foreign and domestic, and they have never read the fucking Constitution. They've never read it. They do not comprehend it like we are even giving it to you guys, so it can be easily comprehended. 9 times out of 10, the people that violate the Constitution watch our videos to try to find something wrong, and guess what? We help them out. We prove them right. Peaceful greetings, Mother Delilah. She says, happy holy degree. I suggest a right not exercise is a right waived. Ergo, it has been tacit acquiescence on many beings' part, which allows for human bondage. I'll say this. This is how I can agree with that in a sense. I agree with that when people do not speak up and ask, why the fuck are you talking to me, policy enforcer? You ran me off the road because of what? So now that's in concept. In intelligent tone, however, you would dial 911 and call for a supervisor at a location you can see where you're located. You do not ask these beings to call their supervisor. That's like a child throwing sand in your face in the sandbox and you go get your mother and father. Yeah, right. They're not about to go get their mother and father so you can assist, so they can assist you in telling what they've done wrong. That's so you guys have got to know how, like Mother Delilah is saying, do not waive your rights by not exercising the right to fucking speak up and go, hey, 911, why are you calling 911? Strategy is it's a recorded call. And with that recorded call, you can get that recording later. This is chess, not checkers. So you're getting a recorded call. You're asking for a supervisor for whatever, whoever's pulling you over, and you're having them come to the location where you're going to help this foreign agent with his emergency because you didn't call him. Your land conveyance isn't on fire. So he obviously needs a fucking hand with a bleeding jelly donut at the nearest convenience store. And he needs some help. He's putting an APB out on the donut abuser somewhere, and he thinks you can help. Why? Because you should be an upstanding American citizen, right? So help your servant, Fresh Prince. Help Jeffrey. Maybe he put his lights on because he was mistaken that you could assist. Okay, well, maybe I could assist. Let me call 911 and get your supervisor out here. That's how I'm going to assist you with your emergency because you got me fucked up. That's how you guys should be thinking. But don't say that out your mouth. I'm just giving you concept correction so that you can just be like on the phone with your window a little crack. Hold on, sweetheart. We're going to get your lieutenant out here, or whoever's the 3 stripes or 2 stripes on duty, who's ever the sergeant on duty or the lieutenant on duty. We're going to have them out here because I want to assist you with your emergency. Most people have been socially engineered to have their armpits sweat, their knees quake, guts start bubbling. That's how you've been socially engineered. You've been socially engineered to start confessing, oh, I was just coming from my mother's house and I just want that they should not be talking to you. You don't work for the police department. You don't work for the state trooper. You don't work for the county sheriff. Stop talking to them.
That's the effects of the Inquisition. When they stop you, you just start blabbing out your mouth, all type of stuff. That's the effect of the Inquisition, for real. It's gonna be the hardest thing I think I've ever had to do.
Turn into Usher, bro. These are my confessions. Oh, my chick on the side. Stop it, Usher. Stop it. That's what you guys are being. You're not being American citizens. You're being Usher Raymond. Stop it. All right, I yield. That's funny. You're ushering in your own arraignments. Being Usher Raymond.
Right, like how the whole traffic scheme, near the Las Vegas Corporation is like you actually commenced the case against yourself because ticket was not an actual commencement of the case. They're going to provide that citation, quote unquote, to the municipal court, and then they're going to wait for you to show up. You know what I mean? Once you show up, then they start moving, because why move if they can get you to pay them by just telling you? You know what I mean? Like,
correct.
But pardon my
I yield. You about to go in the preamble for the West Annotated Code of Maryland rules, right?
Islam.
Title 19. Attorneys, chapter 300. I yield, bro, because this is going to be great. People want to learn how to start conceptualizing how to disqualify every attorney that's out there. You should not be using a fucking attorney, especially if they're not hired by a board or commission to just give counsel to the board and commission. They should not be moving their fucking lips to prosecute or defend. They're just supposed to be ear whisperers. That's it. That's what the fuck they should be doing.
Can't be drafting up documents and all that extra stuff.
Yeah, they shouldn't be running their mouth unless they want to pick the favorite color noose to be hung in for treason. That's where you guys need to be. You need to be like practicing making nooses and throwing it across the highest, strongest branch and hanging attorneys that want to fucking talk.
Islam. This is the preamble. I'll just go shortly into it briefly, and then we'll go to another section of it just to go over these rules, right? 1, preamble on attorney's responsibilities. Number 1, an attorney as a member of the legal profession is a representative of clients, an officer of the legal system,
Hold
Remember,
on. Hold on.
remember?
Officer of the legal system. Legal is, see, this bottle is legal because it's the form in which I can pour the law in. The water is the law. Now, how am I going to form that law? Right? Oh, I'll put it in this bottle, and the law takes the shape of the form that it's in. So when you pour water into a bottle, that you pouring law into a legal form. I just want to make sure we comprehend what legal is. So the fucking attorney is an officer of the fucking bottle. That's why I said earlier, America is the lasagna, whereas the United States Corporation is the fucking aluminum pan and plastic wrap. You're an American citizen. You're a lasagna citizen. And you got fucking aluminum foil and plastic wrap agents trying to force you to aluminum foil and plastic wrap agency. You can't do that shit. You can't do that shit. Be an American citizen, not a United States citizen. Be lasagna, not the aluminum pan in which the lasagna is taking shape. Be the water. Be like water. Be the water. Stop being so fucking concerned about the bottle. You know, you can put the water in a thermos. You can put the water in a plastic bottle, a copper bottle, a copper cup, a glass cup. You can put it in a baby bottle. You know what? You can put it in a bag. The law is going to take form however you shape it. It doesn't stop it from being the law. So when somebody says, oh, this form isn't acceptable, you can suck a dick. Pause. I'm just keeping it a band. This is what we got to get in our mind. We got to be, you ever wonder why? I'm going to speak to the Moors and unconscious Moors out there that may be listening. You ever wonder why when you watch some Albion Sons and Daughters, like, what the fuck you pull me over for, a guy? Because they got the mindset I'm talking about right here, that Brother R is talking about right here. That's the mindset. You need to be thinking in your head, what the fuck are you pulling me over for? However, say it in an intelligent tone. What the fuck are you pulling me over for? Not like that. I mean, like, call 911, ask for a supervisor. Hey, I'm going to get your supervisor out here to help you with your emergency. I'm not sure why you signal me to pull over to assist you with your emergency. I don't have any, notices on my land conveyance saying that I am a lifeguard for, siren and lights blaring, siren sounding, light flashing, siren blaring type of agents. However, you must see something in me that I don't see in myself, and I'm flattered. So thank you. Let me use my cell phone dialing powers. Boop, boop, boop. That's 911. And then you know what I'm saying? That's how you guys got to be. You got to get your mind where you're not under that fucking hypnosis and socially engineered. I yield, bro.
Yeah, your mind should really be in a state where you don't even attract it. You don't attract those situations.
Correct. I yield.
Number 2, as a representative of clients, an attorney performs various functions. As advisor, an attorney provides a client with an informed understanding of the client's legal rights and obligations and explains their practical implications. As advocate, an attorney zealously asserts the client's position under the rules of the adversary system. As negotiator,
time out. Which system are we doing here? So hold on, time out. So attorney is doing something, being an officer for the legal system, and as an advocate, that's two hats. So advisor and advocate. Does it say that in number 1? An attorney as a member of the legal profession, so he's a member of the legal profession, is a representative of the client. This motherfucker's wearing two hats already. And then he's an officer of the legal system and a public citizen. Okay, so you work for the military, which means your client must be a military agent.
Indeed. That's
and
why
then you got special responsibilities. Ooh, you're special.
That's why Moorish Americans are not supposed to have. Moorish Americans cannot be represented. Free Moorish Americans can't.
Cannot be represented by Negro or Albion. Well, unconscious Moors or pale-skinned sons and daughters. Right. We cannot. We affirm that we don't belong in any jurisdiction. period. That's zodiac constitution. And these beings that claim that they're operating on the federal constitution by enforcing their state constitution with their state statutes and their administrative codes, they violate their own Magna Carta when they violate our Moorish Moabite zodiac science of the 12 signs of the zodiac. Period. I yield.
And it's so funny. If you look at this, it says Maryland Code and Court Rules. It says Maryland rules, attorneys, rules. And when we're reading this, who are these rules for? They're for attorneys, right? I would love for someone to show me where there's rules for the people at, because I haven't found any. I found rules for attorneys. I found rules for the United States. I found rules for the state of. I found rules for the governor. I found rules for the attorney, for the county, for the municipality, for the state. We found rules for everyone but the people.
So you know where it says that they are an officer of the legal system and a public citizen. So that actually means that two things. The attorney is a public citizen, which means they're corporate. Or it's also saying an officer of the legal system and an officer of a public citizen, if we look at it like that also. So if that's the case, then that means that an attorney should only be on the scene when a board or commission, a group of people for a certain company, because a United States citizen is a United States business. So when you go and register and you think you're all big, I got an LLC, you should go hang yourself, because you just sold yourself back into slavery. Why? Because now you're leasing your skill set by registering it with the butt of the governor, right? Because the seat, the seat of state would be the governor's chair. So you just sat there and just put your all your business in his back pocket for him to shit on at will, thinking I'm grown, I got a business. All my people that I grew up with that are unconscious Moors and Albions will be proud of me and think I'm doing well for my family. You should go hang yourself or shoot yourself, something, because you're a fucking idiot thinking you're grown. It was the most idiotic shit you could have done.
Yeah.
Islam, I yield.
Yeah, I just seen a video today where the child was talking to a panel of quote unquote grown-ups about, you know, how the child feels when the parents come at them certain ways, like, you don't pay nothing here, you don't do nothing here, yeah, you're making me feel like I ain't shit. And I was like, yeah, that's really fucked up when paying bills is actually slavery, not adulthood.
Correct.
But
it isn't. You could never be grown talking about your paying bills. That's just how we've been socially engineered to be federal agents, Federal Reserve agents at that. I yield, bro. Islam.
Number 5, I'm skipping to number 5 because I've seen something I like. And then number 6 is talking about that public citizen thing, so I'm gonna go to that after. An attorney's conduct should conform to the requirements of law. Come on now. Both in professional service to clients and in attorneys' business and professional affairs. An attorney should use the law's procedures only for legitimate purposes and not to harass or intimidate others. An attorney should demonstrate respect for the legal system and for those who serve it, including judges, other attorneys, and public officials. While it is an attorney's duty when necessary to challenge the rectitude of official action, it is also an attorney's duty to uphold legal process. Their duty, that's their obligation. They have a debt to uphold the legal process and the law.
They abrogate that every time they go to pick up a case in the name of the state. A prosecuting attorney who does not have a delegation of authority or certificate of authority, depends on how you want to hear it, do not have a delegation of authority or certificate of authority from the state attorney general, which is going to be given to the prosecuting attorney by way of the attorney general from the governor, the substitute bay, pertaining to the state. So since that isn't occurring, that prosecuting attorney just committed RICO Act, racketeer, influence, and corrupt organization actions. You guys need to get that in your head. Don't be like, ooh, those brothers deep. Write this shit down. Rewind it, write, pencil, pen, and roll that shit over in your head. Because it's just when you're correcting your concepts in your mind, it's no different than you curling 10 pounds and then you increasing the weight. Okay, now I'm up to 15. Now you're increasing the weight. Now you're up to 20. Like, damn, man, these biceps getting, oh, these pythons. Look at these pythons, brother. Like, that's how you could be. Pause. I'm just kind of mimicking Hulk Hogan here. All right. So that's what I'm saying. I yield, bro. Islam.
A Mother Energy posted Trenzy versus Pagliaro statements of counsel and their brief or their arguments are not sufficient for purpose of granting a motion to dismiss or for summary judgment. Of course,
because they shouldn't fucking be talking.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. No, real talk. They're not supposed to be talking in the first place. That's the whole point. The whole point is that only the board of a corporation can hire a corporate attorney. They're all corporate at the end of the day. But look, it does talk about the public citizen here. It says, as a public citizen, an attorney should seek improvement of the law, access to the legal system, the administration of justice, and the quality of service rendered by the legal profession. As a member of a learned profession, an attorney should cultivate knowledge of the law beyond its use for clients, employ that knowledge in reform of the law, and work to strengthen legal education. In addition, an attorney should further the public's understanding and confidence in the rule of law.
So why are they picking up cases in the name of the state, Brother Ara, when they know that that policy enforcer that wrote that complaint, citation, and summons and then serve somebody on the side of the road? That's violating Rule 4 of Federal Rules of Civil Procedure.
Yeah. Yes, rules. That's what we're talking about today.
Those rules for who? Like, yeah, who are these rules for? And you're what? What are you supposed to be doing, attorney? Well, near the Maryland State Corporation, those rules, which are in harmony with the rules for the American Bar Association, right? It's saying that the attorney should actually be like, yeah, man, I'm not going to take up this case because that policy enforcer is sitting there writing. That's what it says. Have you guys ever looked at some of them shits, them so-called like tickets? It says 3 things on them. It says complaint, citation, and summons. Rule 4B, by whom any person who is at least 18 years old and not a party may serve a summons and complaint. Ain't this motherfucker complaining, talking about you was going a certain speed while he's under the assumption that you work the same type of work he does. And then he's going to complain. He's going to complain.
In the state of Maryland, you gotta have your seatbelt on. In the state of Maryland, you got to have your seatbelt on.
Why the fuck are you talking to me, Officer David?
In the state of Maryland, you need a driver's license to drive a motor vehicle.
I'm not in your state of Maryland mind. I'm not in your state of Florida mind, your state of New York mind, your state of Washington mind, your state of Texas mind, state of California mind. I'm not in your state of Illinois mind. I'm not in the state of Nevada mind. I'm not in the state of Alabama mind. I'm just not there.
Not there.
I'll never be there.
Never.
I'm not moving. Yeah, I'm not moving.
And don't set a court date because I'm not coming.
Basically, I'm not going to be there. You're not going to see me. Oh, well, we need to set out a bench warrant. Fuck you, your bench, and your war rants. Now you're ranting about war. Back to Article 1, Section 8, like my brother said.
Better have probable cause and better be a federal agent you're issuing a warrant for.
For real. And prove that I have a contract with you and an oath of office that says I agree to be governed the way you're trying to govern me, and make sure there's also an autographed certified statement under Title 26, United States Code 7701, H2C1 that says, I agree to let you guys use my rights and property for 50% of the time at the pleasure of the governor. You can't prove those three things. You don't have a delegation of authority from the attorney general. The fucking clerk in the court itself doesn't have a delegation from the secretary of transportation under Title 49. And you don't, wait, those three things. You don't have my delegation for me to be governed this way. You don't have delegation from the fucking attorney general, you prosecuting attorney, and the court in general on a case-by-case basis doesn't have a delegation of authority from the secretary of transportation for you to hear so-called transportation and or traffic cases. You don't have those 3 points, and we can prove that you don't have those three things. That don't mean, detain the defendant. First of all, we're not going to be there because we're going to write shit in order and ask you a fucking question that's going to disqualify you. And if you think you're going to get away from that shit, guess what? We're going to do, like my brother's going to show, we're going to disqualify you. We're going to go to the office of bar counsel, and we're going to do a complaint.
Oh yeah, hold on. Let me pull that up real quick though. Hold on.
Yeah, we're going to go to the office of bar counsel, and then we're going to do a fucking bar grievance. A bar grievance against the fucking prosecuting attorney or any other dumbass that is with whatever state bar. And then you go to the judiciary discipline or the judicial discipline, agency.
Whatever commission, for disciplining judges.
To discipline the judges. That's what we doing here. Go ahead, bro. I yield.
I was just gonna pull this up real quick. Actually, we had looked at, was it the procedures? Yeah, look.
Hold on. It was, hold on.
Complaint.
Go back.
Investigation by bar counsel.
Investigation by bar counsel. Yeah, go ahead, bro. Read that.
Who may initiate? Bar counsel may file a complaint on bar counsel's own initiative based on information from any source.
So you're the source.
Any other person also may file a complaint with bar counsel. Any communication to bar counsel that one is in writing to alleges that an attorney has engaged in professional misconduct or has an incapacity. Three includes the name and contact information of the person making the communication, and 4 states facts which, if true, would constitute professional misconduct by or demonstrate an incapacity of an attorney constitutes a complaint.
Correct. So they can't even say, even if stuff was true and they went to go talk about it or did some other stuff, that's misconduct, and that's under Rule 8.4. However, near the Maryland State Republic, it'll be codified as Rule 19-308.4, if I'm not mistaken, but we'll find that in a second. I know there's something else you want to go in on, bro, because this a dual-edged sword that you're about to read right here.
Oh, yes. If bar counsel concludes that a complaint is without merit, does not allege facts which, if true, would demonstrate either professional misconduct or incapacity. So they go, I'm reading this. I hear what you're saying, but this doesn't constitute a violation, even if it's true, right? Or is duplicative, like you did it before. You already filed something like that. Bar counsel shall decline the complaint and notify the complainant. Bar counsel also may decline a complaint submitted by a person who provides information about an attorney derived from published news reports or third-party sources.
It's hearsay.
Where the complaint appears to have no personal knowledge of the information being submitted.
Which means that can be utilized against anyone else who speaks. So imagine the prosecuting attorney picks up a case in the name of the state because they're saying that the initial complaint is by the policy enforcer that ran you off the road, that gave you that complaint, citation, and summons. Do you hear the treason? Do you see why I go, what color noose you want to be hung in?
Yeah, because
I'm not talking slick. I'm telling the truth here. Go ahead, I yield, bro.
This is the principle in the rules of evidence. So,
period.
Like, and also rules of witness. Witnesses speaking on matters that do not have on facts, right? Alleged facts that do not have sufficient evidence on the record to support any finding for them to be true. And this is it's so interesting that Mother Energy was like the first one on here, because we're going over the public utilities situation.
I know, right?
Going on, right? She came like for the right one. Not saying she doesn't check
No,
out the
correct.
others. Yeah, just saying. Yeah. So as you see here, there's only 2 filings on this docket. This is a docket, an electric docket, for a situation that I'm dealing with. You see Aramuava Bay? Because I've decided after learning the truth, right? I've decided I don't want to participate in their fraud. So you know, I'm not gonna stand as surety for a fictitious obligation. So my thing is I'm giving opportunity to the power company to prove that an actual obligation exists, to prove that when an account was originally set up, that one was actually supposed to be classified, that the account was classified or supposed to be classified the way it was classified. It's not.
Mm-hmm.
So just to remind, you know, the people who don't know, oh, look at this, bro. You see that?
Oh, hold on, time out. We just looked at this, didn't we?
No, this is the briefing memo.
Oh no, hold on. I thought you clicked on view just now.
Hold on, bro. Something's going on. I just try to view the briefing memo. Oh, okay, there we go. It was just an error. Okay, so I just want to remind people. Yo, I thought that was funny. I just want to remind or let the people know. Look at the date it was filed, January 6th. Look at the date it was created, November 3rd. Now,
30th.
if I show you, let me show you something else. Look right here, date filed, right? Look right here, November 15th, right? So this docket was filed on the 15th. It was created, right? Aramuava Bay versus Nevada Power Company doing business at MV Energy. Look at this. The docket was created on the 15th. 15 days later, her document was created, but then they wait almost 40 days to file it. The docket was already existed. They could have been filed it. They didn't have to wait. They didn't have to wait for the agenda to be noticed. They didn't have to wait for the 6th to do it. They waited almost 40 days to file a document that they could have filed it the day they made it because the docket existed 15 days prior to this. I just wanted to point that out. A lot of lies in here, a lot of statements being made without sufficient evidence on the record to support any finding that these statements are true. So what I'm going to show you is my document filed yesterday.
2023-01-19, which means the 2023 is the year, 1 is January, 19th is the day.
It's long. It was filed at 1:51 p.m. Yesterday. And you know the date is on there, right? And this is an affidavit of fact, and it's also a hearing request because I'm going through an administrative process that I don't have to go through it, but I'm just trying to deal with it at a certain level. But anyways, on January 10th, 2023, the Public Utility Commission of Nevada decided to adopt Kelly Nicole's recommendation to the commission. This correspondence is an attempt to have the commission reconsider having an evidentiary hearing for the following reasons. So
in other words, bring the evidence forward, prove this shit.
Yeah. Because my claim is that I'm not a customer. I'm not a residential customer. I'm not a retail customer. I'm not a statutory person as defined in your statutes. And you have to prove that I am and produce the instrument to support the underlying obligation that you're claiming, because it's an alleged obligation at this point. It's a fictitious obligation at this point until it is proven that an actual obligation exists. So just to show you my one of my documents, right? One of my exhibits. I'm gonna go over this exhibit because if you want to see these other exhibits, we actually go over them on that the video we did with Dr. G, right? The first one, part 1, right?
Yeah, that was from December 27th, 2022 on Office Hours with Dr.
I went over 2 of the documents in there, so you might want to go check that video out. But this is a notice that I sent to the president of the company. And, I want to go over this because it talks about rules, right? And that's what the topic is. So the first thing I said in the judicial notice and law memorandum, right? And this is January 2nd. This was done on the 2nd, right, of the new fiscal year. It says, be advised that Nevada Power Company doing business as NV Energy Inc. is subject to NRS 78.0602E and other laws mentioned herein. Therefore, no member, agent, or employee of or for NV Energy Inc. has the authority to create, adopt, or implement bylaws inconsistent with the Constitution for the United States of North America, the Constitution for Nevada, and the laws of the state and the United States. Whereas the Nevada legislature finds that energy is essential to the health, safety, and welfare of the people per NRS 701.010A. Therefore, termination of service by default is especially dangerous to health as the need for it is essential in the first place. Whereas every unjust and unreasonable charge for service of a public utility is unlawful. It literally says that if you look up NRS 704.0402. And then obviously, United States Constitution, Article 1, Section 10. No state shall make anything but gold and silver coin, a tender and payment for debts. And then the circulation of banknotes is prohibited under Nevada's Constitution. So I definitely threw that in there. United States Congress has the power to regulate commerce. We just went over that in the beginning of this video at Article 1, Section 8, Clause 3, right? And then whereas the United States Congress has the power to make rules for the government, we went over that as well. That's Clause 14. And then I let it be known. So I let them know their powers, right, pertain to Congress. And this is important because my use of electric energy is not for commercial purposes, as I engage not in foreign or interstate commerce subject to congressional regulation per United States Constitution, Article 1, Section 8, Clause 3. Whereas I am not a contracted, oath-taking federal, state, or municipal agent whom Congress has powers to make rules for per United States Constitution, Article 1, Section 8, Clause 14. Whereas slavery is unlawful and prohibited per Nevada Constitution, Article 1, Section 17. Whereas when establishing that one is unable to pay, it's an impossibility. And when termination is dangerous to health, such service may not be terminated. Public Law 95-617 November 9th, right? 1978, 92 Stat 3127, Section G. Right? And so yeah, I just basically let them know what it is. I CC Jennifer Granum, of course, she's the Secretary of Energy on the federal level. I CC the newly elected governor or substitute Bay for the occupational state.
Who has been said to be also, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, a corrupt sheriff before becoming the substitute.
Yes. Yeah, we have some evidence against him in another case that Amore has a situation going on where when he was sheriff, his deputies, they just, obviously they're breaking the law every day, but they did some serious crimes against a brother of mine. So it's interesting. He's the governor now, but David Bobzian is the director of energy, right, on the state level for the Department of Energy. And then we have Brandon Barcuff, Michael Cole, Jennifer Oswald, Tony Sanchez. These are all senior level positions at the power company. But guys, this is just a demonstration of, what would I say? Well, you tell them, first of all, first you got to look at your situation. Are you using the electric energy for commercial use? Are you a resident? Are you these things that will put you in a category where, yes, they can classify you as residential? No, they cannot classify me as residential. Why? I mean, I let it be known right here from the beginning, and I know we were talking about attorneys right before this, so this is important right here. Number one, I said the record does not reflect, right? I'm talking to the commission because there was a decision that was made, but they didn't have things on the record to support anything what they were talking about. So the record does not reflect that Kelly Nichols and Colin R. Harlow, he's an alleged attorney, right? The record does not reflect that Kelly Nichols and Colin R. Hall have introduced sufficient evidence to support any findings that they have the lawful corporate power of attorney legally required. Is the key term right there, legally required. Why? Because the corporate power of attorney is legally required in order to make statements for NV Energy in these proceedings. So, an attorney originally tried to speak up when I made my claim, but I disqualified him. Why? Because he doesn't have the documents that are legally required in order for him to carry out the representation that he's attempting to represent. And let's pull up these rules real quick since we're doing this. Just to pull up the rules of professional conduct near that this attorney is bound to, that we're speaking of particularly. It says right here, a lawyer shall not reveal information relating to representation of a client unless the client gives informed consent. The disclosure is impliedly authorized in order to carry out the representation. Pardon me. Again, confidentiality of information, rule 1.6. A lawyer shall not reveal information relating to representation of a client unless the client gives informed consent. Disclosure is impliedly authorized in order to carry out representation. You gotta show me your proof of corporate power of attorney to carry out the representation. So of course you could disclose that to me. I'm asking for it. Or the disclosure is permitted by paragraph B or D. What does B say? A lawyer may reveal information relating to the representation of a client to the extent the lawyer reasonably believes necessary. 1, to prevent reasonable, certain death or substantial bodily harm. 2, to prevent the client from committing a criminal or fraudulent act in furtherance of which the client has used or is using the lawyer's services, but the lawyer shall, where practicable, first make reasonable effort to persuade the client. But the one I wanted you to see was, where's it at? Was it? Jesus. To prevent, to secure legal, to establish a claim. This is one of them. To establish a claim. This is it. To establish a claim or defense on behalf of the lawyer in a controversy between the lawyer and the client. To establish a defense to a criminal charge or civil claim against the lawyer based upon conduct in which the client is involved, or to respond to allegations in a proceeding concerning the lawyer's representation of the client. Come on now. If I'm asking you in a proceeding to show your proof of authority, you need to respond to my. If I'm saying I don't think you have corporate power of attorney, produce it. That's an allegation in a proceeding concerning the representation, concerning the lawyer's representation right here. That's an allegation in a proceeding concerning the lawyer's representation of the client. And then what? The first portion A says that they can reveal that information when it's impliedly authorized in order to carry out the representation. He hasn't produced the documents. So at this point,
wow.
I mean, pardon me, I don't want to just go around pointing fingers, calling people criminals, but you are acting like a criminal because you haven't produced anything. So what it looks like you're forging documents for this company, even if the company said, hey, go do this, because the attorney is supposed to be competent to know when he can and can't carry out representation of a client. So at the end of the day, rules for who? These rules are for the attorney. So back to the document real quick. And, I think we're probably going to close this out soon because we can always
you going in, man. I was just responding to someone in the chat, man, because I was avoiding some things, but you answered some of the questions. But it's like, you already know, I know a full answer to their question. I just don't, when people say like, well, this is what happened and it was their word against mine, or I was defending myself, it's like, I need to see the record. Because you already know, sometimes, when people online, there's no offense to any of y'all in the chat. It's just that, you know, since we so open and we share how we share for real openly out of love, sometimes people try to play us for goofies.
Yeah, I know how that goes.
Open and they'll share, you know, hey man, I got 5 bodies. Should I get compensated because I went out a federal agent? Look, if you injured somebody, all right, if you injured somebody,
yeah,
all right. My question is, why are you attracting that energy to yourself?
Yeah.
However, if it was in quote unquote self-defense and I don't know you, my brothers don't know you, yeah, we can review the record. I don't care if it's 1,444 pages. As I get to it as I would like, cool. I don't owe anybody anything. This is why we're doing what we're doing, to show you how to do what you need to do to correct and protect yourself. However, stop attracting those situations to you. I don't know how I got there. I don't know what it was. I get it. You could have been innocently hanging out with your loved one and somebody tried to harm you and your loved one and you was able to, you know, defend yourself. Cool. However, there are other things that can be spoken about. You know what I mean? Like, again, no one can use these statutes, codes, and policies against you if you don't work for them. However, like Mother Delilah said earlier, a right not exercised is a right way. So if you don't know how to protect yourself against that, because we don't share this so people can be slick and finesse and, all right, Joe, shit, I'm gonna go out here and murder like 30 people. And now since I know the law and I know I ain't attached to these codes and policies, you know what I'm saying? Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just go and get off on each one. Like, no, this is a divine and national movement, bro.
Yeah, that's not gonna work.
I'm trying to tell you, man. You're gonna go to start your wheel on your first body, if not the second one, and your shit gonna blow up. You're like, what happened? Prophet Noble Drew Ali's latent powers, right. And it's real. It ain't no imaginary church shit, some sky daddy God bullshit. I'm telling you, bro. I have seen divine intervention since declaring and proclaiming my nationality and taking this seriously. If you don't study first, you don't get to know yourself first, and you're just trying to get a benefit from what it is that we saying, it does not work that way. I don't care who you are. The people that get the best results are Moorish Americans. For real, because those that don't declare and proclaim their nationality, they always got to do guesswork. They got to, well, let me try this strategy this way and see it work for me like this time. Okay, now they did this and blocked this, so now I want to try this way. I stick to the Constitution. Just like when I got to go deal with this post thing when I get back to the office. That's what I got to do. I got to deal with the post. Okay, so let me go establish this relationship because I already know what it is. Well, you got to give postage this way because it weighs this much. I don't work for you. So let me show you your rules. You know what I'm saying? Let me show you your rules.
Islam.
I don't want you to lie. I definitely don't. I don't want anybody to lie. I'd rather have the truth. You know what I'm saying? I'm just putting it out there since you brought it to the table and I asked. I wanted to make sure, you know what I mean, that it's known. Because I'm not saying you, I'm just saying that I'm still going to finish my comment. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying it's you. Let me see. Did I send that one right? Give us transcript reference for all here to view. We would all like to see that 44 page document. But I'm also telling you to study to assist in no longer attracting that kind of energy to yourself. And then correct ye concepts. That's what I meant to hear. Right? Because I remember one time when I got into a little something for real and got abducted by policy enforcers trying to fucking assert themselves. Now, I already knew that no matter what yo was hitting me with, no matter what, he couldn't get them cuffs on me. You know what I mean? A lot of times people do think shit's sweet because I got these boyish little looks and shit. I look androgynous as fuck. All right, cool, whatever. 5 motherfuckers couldn't get the cuffs on me. They're like, damn, this little motherfucker strong. I'm actually proving a point when I'm doing that. When I'm resisting, when I did resist at that time. You know what I mean? This was back in 2015. When I resisted in that moment, I was letting yo know from the jump, like, bro, you really can't fuck with me, yo. I will fucking break your neck in front of all these people. You feel that strength? You can't even get these cuffs on me, bro. You can't even force my arm behind me, bro. However, once I did everything because I knew I could handle it in court or whatever for real, this was within my first year, I ain't had none of that I ain't have a Brother Hasan to look to. I ain't going to reach out to Brother Taj till 2017. This happening in 2015. Because I'm standing on my own square based off of me studying. I wasn't looking for nobody that's really for real. Not for real, because I was on rvbaypublications.com. I'm into the blog talk radios every Tuesday, Principles of Nationality and Action, every Wednesday, Morris Heritage and History School. And then the third Thursdays, I was going to that function, you know what I mean, when it was, you know, seemingly mature until seeing otherwise. And then I would participate in the sister standing on law, you know, even if it was just only for the sisters. I don't care. I was at every event that, you know what I mean, MHHS was doing in RV Bay Publications. You know what I'm saying? And so I took those concepts, you know what I mean, because before going to the jurisprudence gym at Lawful Living, I've been doing this for 8 years. Writing writs, studying writs, being on RV Bay, standing on my own square, not looking for somebody to hold my hand and go off of their concepts. You know where I got my concept corrections from before meeting Brother Taj? Looking at the different videos of C. Freeman L. and Brother Taj. And videos of other Moors that were seemingly active until I comprehended the concepts that they was just really kind of like mixing up and shit. You feel me?
Yeah, I don't know what that comment means. You are attached to codes and policies. I don't know who's attached to codes and policies.
No, that's because look, yo, you got it. Look, Michael, you got it. No, that's not it. Let me be clear on this so you can stop saying stupid shit out your mouth respectfully. You know what I mean? Because I love y'all, man. And I don't want you to come on here and say stupid shit in the chat showing your stupidity respectfully. So let me assist you so you can improve yourself. There's 3 things. There's the truth, the whole truth, and the short truth. The truth is I'm Moorish American. The whole truth is I'm a descendant pertaining to Moroccans made manifest on American soil here at Amexem at the North Gate. So that's the truth and the whole truth. The short truth is I'm not a federal agent that's contracted with an oath of office that is given an autographed statement.
Right.
That says I'm going to use my energy, my rights, which is my property, for 50% or more of its use at the pleasure of the governor. So the reason we use the statutes, codes, and policies is to show y'all how to use their own stuff against them, to have them prove, to have them prove and bring evidence that you are to be governed how they're trying to govern you, for you to be adjudicated that way. So I get it, man. You don't know what you're talking about. It's fine. Let me give you full disclosure and let you know what it is, because the first principle is love. And since I know that Prophet Noble Drew Ali called upon all Asiatics to hear the truth about their nationality and birthrights, you're not Negro, Black, colored, African American, Ethiopian. I know I paraphrased a few things in there. You need to honor your ancient foremothers and forefathers so that your days along upon the earth, land. So you use the statutes, codes, and policies as a third point. It's called a triangulation strategy. So you know 2 out of 3 is 1, you're Moorish American. Number 2, you're a descendant of Moroccan made manifest on American soil here at Amexem at the North Gate, Temple of the Moon and Sun. 3, you are not this. You see what I'm saying? And with the are not and what you are not and what you can't be because you don't have a contract, the oath of office, or the certified autograph statement, then that actually adds to the triangulation where they now have to prove that they adjudicated upon you appropriately. Now, if you don't comprehend that, you stuck on stupidity while you think and we stuck on statutes, codes, and policies. First of all,
I think they get it because they said when you injure someone by physical harm, doesn't that grant jurisdiction? That's what I meant. I think what they're trying to say was that
look, check it out. I think if the brother C. Thomas is saying
not T. Thomas
defended. No, I know what Michael said. I see Michael Ravada. But the reason why we saying what we saying about the injured party portion, just to address it in the chat brief,
Right.
If C. Thomas is saying, yo, I was defending myself, it was self-defense and I did time, because he put felony M. I don't know what the M stand for. I don't want to assume he's saying felony murder, but that's what it looked like yo saying for real. All right, cool. My brother that's tatted on my arm doing 65 for triple. You feel me? Like, come on, bro. Here's my question though. When you injure somebody offensively, that's a problem. Now, if you're defending yourself and you happen to take somebody's life, you should be referring to the treaty for real. But if you're a Christian and you injured a Christian because you ain't say that you are declared and proclaimed national, you probably got to refer to your own Magna Carta under that mindset, unless you can really dig into the Treaty of Peace and Friendship, where for more wounds or kills a Christian, or a Christian wounds or kills a Moor, then the law of the country is to take precedence. What's the law of the country? Guyana Shagoa. What's Guyana Shagoa? Well, the French call it the Iroquois Constitution, the Iroquois Confederacy, great law of the peace given by the Dekanawida for the people that are called the Haudenosaunee. That's what it is. Flat out. Anything else is just trying to be slick, trying to finesse, trying to judge. If bro is defending himself, or sis, I don't know if it's a bro or sis, respectfully. If you injure somebody offensively, yo, you got a problem, y'all. However, some people have gotten off because it's like, oh, well, they weren't working at the time and stuff like that. But that's under federal agency. So I think, honestly, if you do something and you like, well, shit, I don't work for these people. I ain't got a contract, oath of office, or a certified statement. So I'm just going to go out here and just kill motherfuckers. Okay. All right. That's what you're going to do. There's other energies on this planet. I'm telling you, y'all do not want to fuck with, yo. I'm telling you, I done seen shit happen. Divine intervention. I'm telling you, you going to start your wheel, that shit blow up. You go to do all, like, you know what I mean? Other shit happen. Like you try to bend the corner and you think it ain't that cold outside. It's just a little rain and you hit a patch of ice and hit that tree and you die. I'm telling you, yo, I done see. I'm telling you, boy. I'm telling you, this is a divine and national movement. So that's what I'm really saying for real. Like that's really what it is.
Oh yeah, I was gonna show this right here.
All right. I mean, I get it. You referring to physical harm. Yeah. I mean, that physical harm thing got to be looked at. The record got to be looked at. I don't sanction no pain. We shouldn't be harming each other at all for real.
Yeah. No.
You see what I'm saying? That's really what time it is. You shouldn't be like, we all need to be here assisting to make the planet better completely. You see what I'm saying? But it's a lot of people that get their hand on more science that just came out the joint, or they learned about more science in the joint. And then when you realize, when you hear brothers like us, the brothers that you might have been introduced to this, they might be on a certain elementary level with this. They don't really have the science like we got it. I ain't saying we better than them. I'm saying we consistent. We put ourselves through our own bit by making sure we study here without having to be forced in someone's correctional facility that we never consented to be corrected in. You feel me? That's what I'm saying. I'm not like coming down hard. I just gotta be firm, yo, because the truth is stern. It don't change and it don't pass away. So I gotta be firm in making sure we know these concepts for real, yo, because you gotta think, yo, it's not really about us in the moment. It is. That's why we gotta study. Yo, this baby's coming, bro. You see what I'm saying? Like everybody in some way, shape, or form got babies coming in the future in their life, whether it's niece, nephews, sons, daughters, grandchildren, whatever the case may be. And it's really, you gotta do yourself your own justice and make sure you know what it is that we talking about. Brother Taj, Mother Ross Mariah, and other people that were associated or are associated with RV Bay Publications assisted. Mother Delilah Pascal, you see she's here in the chat. Huge assistance. You know what I mean? She was the one that took me physically to Mother Rashida Bay. You see what I'm saying? And when I got the information from all these bands, and including Brother Hannibal, all it made me do, and they make me want to be slick, and they make me want to go pimp with more signs, like a lot of people try to do, learn astrology, then try to find soulmates, talk that slick boo-boo shit to these sisters out here on some fuck shit. You see what I'm saying, yo? Like, that's what the fuck really going on. Motherfuckers be pimping with more signs. Motherfuckers be trying to finesse and jug. And for real, y'all, that shit some bullshit. And that's why a lot of people can't execute like we execute, because they spirit ain't in check. You feel me?
They don't. The prophet ain't right, so the temple ain't right.
Exactly.
Their thoughts, their right thoughts, their thoughts are not right, so their temple is not right.
Exactly. Don't get it twisted. I ain't knocking people that, like I said, my brother tatted on my arm doing 65 for triple murder. You feel me? I don't grow up where my family members was like, yo, stay in them books, shorty. Don't you do what you see us doing out here on these streets. I took heed to that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Not on some punk shit. Because I don't look at Tom and the Godfather as a punk. However, at the same time, yo, I see God, the movie Godfather, like it's about family. It just so happens motherfuckers got into some fuck shit along the way.
Mm-hmm.
But that's my concept. And what we supposed to be doing here is for love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, for real, for real. You know what I'm saying? Got that Mountain Valley, baby, about to drink the spring water. But anyway, hold up.
That El Bay from the El Bay Mountain.
that shit do say Washita, bro. Look, Wachita, right? That's bananas that it says that. Wachita, right? Like what, bro? That's bananas.
So
anyway,
look at the search bar right here. I want to make a point real quick.
All right.
How many times do you see residential is actually used?
Whoa, that says 80, bro.
And this is the Nevada Administrative Code, NAC. So everybody should know that just like the United States, there's United States codes and there's Code of Federal Regulation. So there's the United States codes and the Code of Federal Regulation, right? So I don't know if every state has it. I think they do. But I know that the state of Nevada has the Nevada Revised Statutes and the Nevada Administrative Code. So the Nevada Revised Statutes like the USC's, and the Nevada Administrative Code is like the Code of Federal Regulation. They go hand in hand. So when you're looking at a chapter in the statutes, go try to find the administrative code for that same chapter section so that you can see what it is. But this is in the Nevada Administrative Code. Residential is used 80 times. And mind you, they call people, when you call the power company, it says residential customers press 1, commercial customers press 2. That's the only 2 options.
Which is the same option.
but now look at what I find. I find the definition of what the term residential and small commercial customer define. Wow. If residential customers is one thing and commercial customers is another thing, why is residential and small commercial customer defined in the same definition?
Whoa.
Why?
Whoa.
Wouldn't that make a residential customer and a small commercial customer the same thing?
Yeah, well, and is a conjunction that means you got to have both of them together. It's not or.
Mm-hmm.
It's and.
Islam. So residential and commercial customer mean the same thing. Residential and small commercial customer means any customer other than a generating customer, an industrial customer, or a large commercial customer, which, by the way, have their own definitions as well. And we're not any of that. So, no, you're not a commercial customer. We're not treating you as a commercial customer. You're a residential customer. Oh, really? Like a residential and small commercial customer? Is that what it is?
Mm-hmm.
So notice how, and they know this. Look at this, because this administrative code is created by the Public Utilities Commission. I mean, at least this section 704.
Correct.
That's their administrative code added to NAC by Public Utilities Commission. The commission knows. Since 1999.
So in other words, you now taking the Nevada Administrative Code after reviewing, after you see that they're organized or they're governed under the Nevada Revised Statutes, the NRS, and then the NAC is how they executively carry out the NRS. Do I got that correct?
Yeah, how it's carried out. Yeah.
All right. So the NAC is the executive carrying out instructions pertaining to the legislative NRS. So the NRS is legislative, the NAC is executive, and now you're taking this to judicial review to balance the fucking books on a ass so that they're not trying to make you a residential and small commercial customer because you're not retailing the energy that they're giving you because you're not in the business to sell energy from NV Energy or from the Public Utility Commission doing business as NV Energy.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. And if we do this, hold on. If we go to
Article 6 in the North American Republic Constitution ratified 1791. If you read Article 6, and it talks about that the Constitution is the supreme law of the land, and all treaties also are the supreme law of the land. So when you look at the Treaty of Peace and Friendship ratified 1787, right? When you look at that, which came before the ratification of the Constitution, remember the 5 general constitutions, the Articles of Association, the Declaration of Independence, the Articles of Confederation, the Treaty of Peace and Friendship, and the North American Republic Constitution for the United States for America. Those 5 documents actually make up the whole Constitution, which all are derived from Guyana Shagoa, the great law of the peace, as given by Dika Nawida via the Haudenosaunee. Period. That's what it is. The law of the country is the great law of the peace. Technically, if you really want to take it there, that's why we are to be American citizens, not United States citizens. So any of your favorite secure party creditor, what they call it, discharge debt Moors out there, they are showing you how to be a better federal agent.
Yeah, because why are you discharging the United States debt?
I mean, you're not Congress. That's exactly what Brother Arbor just showed you about Article 1, Section 8. So to answer the question about aren't treaties X, Y, and Z, no, because even though you're a grandchild is a descendant of the grandmother, at the end of the day, the grandchild is not, in fact, the grandmother. However, the child is deputized under the grandmother's authority through the mother's authority. And this is the concepts we gotta change, y'all. I appreciate y'all going in the chat. And like I said, I ain't coming down hard on y'all. I just gotta be firm so you know what my position is and how I really see this for real, because we gotta fix these issues on the planet for real. We can't be against people, yo. This has been a family feud for thousands of years, yo. We gotta correct our mindset. And it's real easy to get it while we are going live right now. But remember, yo, you gotta go to sleep and wake up, and you should be back on this again. It shouldn't be a past thought. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're gonna have to really get with the get down. I know some people, you know what I mean, they work and they punching the clock and stuff like that or whatever. However, that doesn't mean that you punching the clock in the way where you're an agent for whomever. The only time those rules are for you is when you're on the clock. That's the point we making. Rules for who? Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, no, absolutely correct, bro. This is just a random statute that I found. Now, this is in the statutes, not the administrative code. Mm-hmm. This is chapter 701, which is under title 58, which has all the chapters for utilities. So,
correct. So that's NRS. There's legislative, just to keep the people on point. He just came from NAC, which is executive. This is NRS, which is legislative. Go ahead, bro.
It's long. Great analysis, because I didn't catch that when you said it at first. Now I know what you were saying. Yeah, mm-hmm. The executive is the one that's putting it together. Islam, as used in this section, right? Mm-hmm. Residential. This is another term that that defines the word residential in a phrase. The phrase is residential or small commercial customer of a utility, which is similar to the other one we just looked at, right? Which was residential and small commercial customer. This one is residential or small commercial customer of a utility. So they added of a utility and they switched and to or. And it says it means an existing residential or small commercial customer of a utility or a prospective residential or small commercial customer of a utility that affirms it will become an actual customer of a utility within 12 months after the date on which the application is filed. Where's the application?
There is none. There's got to be an application, which means the application doesn't exist, so the affirmation is false because there is no affirmation based on application.
Right. And then they try to say, okay, this is what they try to say, you're a customer, right? But, which is used how many times? Oh, they use customer how many thousands of times?
Whoa, 1292, bro.
That's amazing. Now watch this. Customer means a person, association, corporation, or other organization which receives or will receive electric energy from the public utility. First, customer means a person. That's a statutory person, right? And when they say, oh, it includes a natural person. Yeah, a natural person that works for an association, corporation, or organization. A natural person that works for the government, right? Customer pops up. Does it really pop up 17 times that way? Oh, here's another definition. Customer means the retail purchaser of natural gas. Oh, okay, I see what's going on here.
Retail purchaser.
So customer class. Interesting. Customer class means the category of customers identified in the rate schedule of a utility.
Wow.
Look, they got different customer definer right here. Is one, see, this is how they try to say I was a customer. They try to say, yeah, it's a person first, and that's what I'm telling them. So I mean, it's right here. Pardon me. It's right here, the third one. The record does not reflect the sufficient evidence required to support any finding that I am a statutory person with a contract, oath of office, and separate certified written statement consenting to be considered to be doing business at the pleasure of the governor and subject to rules and regulations for the government. There's nothing on the record proving that I'm that type of person.
So that's you refuting NAC 704.303 then.
Precisely. That's even what they put on the thing, which is interesting. They actually put that one was disputing that. So if you look right here, it says complaint regarding consumer, I'm not a consumer, disputing that he is considered a customer of a utility as defined in NAC 704.303 and should
went out by trying to seemingly like they were saying. So it's almost like every time, see, this is what it is for public servants. Every time a public servant tries to defend themselves, they always actually give you an out if you can see it.
Exactly, that window.
They give you a fucking window every time. For real,
and it's right in the beginning right here. Just the fact that it says person, that already disqualifies me from being a customer. However, this is what they're trying to say, because they can't use 2 and 3. Why? Because 2 says in whose name such service is or is to be provided as evidence by a signature on an application or contract for service. They don't have that. 3, in whose name such service is to be provided as may be established by other demonstrable evidence. So it has to be demonstrable evidence, which means you have to be able to produce something, right?
Which is why you ask for evidentiary hearing in the beginning of the document.
Exactly. And the crazy part is they're trying to use 1, but this is what they're trying to say. They're trying to say 1, customer means a person who receives or applies to receive residential gas or electric service from a utility. So just them, you just coming into contact with the power company, they're saying that makes you a customer. But no, it doesn't. That's why it says a person. You first have to be a person.
And Morpheus was saying in the chat that most people you know what I mean, doing what they doing because they've been given a state of emergency document that they think they forced to act on, the term their birth certificate. When at the end of the day, we all know that a birth certificate is a foundling certificate, like a fucking soldier found a child as booty and prize because the grown-ups that were taking care of them were killed off. So you would give a foundling certificate called a birth certificate to a child who lost their guardians, mother, father, whomever, to war. So now that's actually how they're treating people in the mind. Since you guys lost a war so many years back, you are now considered idiots who may never know their nativity. So that's why you are being held to get a birth certificate by practice. People been practicing for a couple of generations getting birth certificates and shit. When you're not supposed to be getting them, they are bank instruments, which makes you stock, which makes you chattel property, because the mother is an informant, is listed as an informant on an affidavit. She's not the affiant. And then when it comes to talking about law versus legality, as someone was saying, as Bobby said before, if you're talking about baby Bobby Christ, remember, we're going to have a difference in perspective. Whereas Bobby is one of our beloved Albion sons, whereas we are part and parcel to the mothers and fathers of civilization. We, being Moorish American, would have a completely different status in comprehending the angles that we are not only coming from, but are actually delivering from also, because we have multiple angles we can deliver from. I'm looking at y'all. I got y'all comments in front of me right here on the phone, for real. That's why I'm facing this way. Because at the end of the day, for real, I get it. Don't get it twisted. The Albion sons, our sons be on point. Keith and Bobby in the jurisprudence gem, they be on point. You know what I mean? And a lot of copper tone beings who may not be Moorish Americans, they have really effective concepts too. However, and you can get upset if you want, whoever, or in the future I hear you get upset about it, the supreme comprehension is always by sincere Moorish Americans, because we are the ones that completely know the position. Prophet Noble Drew Ali wasn't just some guy that showed up and called himself a prophet. You guys, once you really study this science and this metaphysics and go deeper and deeper to your studies, you'll really respect and see why there are a lot of Albions out here who have their own place to really practice Moorish science. Some openly, some in secrecy, right? So I'm not refuting anything that Bobby or Keith has ever said in any class in the jurisprudence gem. What I am saying is I tend to share and have perspectives that I know that I'm sincerely there for everyone. However, I come to Moors first because they need us the most. I'm here assisting with Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Prophet Noble Drew Ali says, I'm a universal prophet and my philosophy is universal. And so philosophia is Greek for the love pertaining to wisdom. So the love of wisdom, right? I'm a universal prophet. Uni, one, verse, word, al, descended. So I'm a one word descended, thought of Allah, manifested in flesh. And my love of wisdom is one word descended. I just came to you Moors first because you need me the most. We here at Northwest of Maxim, here at the North Gate, cosmologically speaking, we are the ones being waited upon to wake up so the rest of the world can operate freely. The only reason that there's wars going on anywhere in the world, there's central banks trying to take over all the people and put them under unum sanctum policy, is because the mothers and fathers of civilization who should be awake to what it is that we're saying are still either asleep or trying to slowly but surely come out of what they've been socially engineered under after losing wars for many years. However, now there's a time where we have to stop having our hands held and be very vigilant in wanting to make sure that our concepts are correct. You see what my brother Aura is demonstrating? You guys are going to have to go back and look at this class and take notes and see how we're weaving in everything. Context means with weaving. Con, with, text, weaving. That's why I can stop saying what I'm saying, brother. Or get back to these statutes and what he's printed out. And you still see I'm on point with what my bro is sharing. Because this is where we need to be, y'all. We need to be effective. So yeah, I put myself through an 8-year bit without having to be in somebody's correctional facility, and I'm going through my 9th year. That's why I don't really need to go outside or go nowhere unless I'm with my beloved mother, mistress, consort, and our children. Period. I don't need to go nowhere. And then I'm with my bros on Zoom, and we study and we crunch time it every time. And then we invite people to the jurisprudence gym if you can make it in. I ain't gonna find out. We're gonna have to ask Malika to up that attendance, because I'm telling you, it'd be at 100 and it'd be closed out, man. It'd be people hitting my phone talking about I can't get in. You know what I'm saying? Or people I call and check on them, see if they can come in. They like, I can't get in for real. You feel me?
It's a good feeling. It's a great feeling to see the class get filled up, because it's like, you know that them clubs are getting filled up right now. You know what I'm saying? Them liquor stores is filled up. All that bullshit, lower self bullshit is filled up. But this law class is empty. Nah, we can't be having that. So when I seen it start hitting 100, it was a good feeling.
Yeah, definitely. I yield, bro. I'm just reading what Mother Delilah said, and she's right. All this is done under threat, duress, and coercion, which nullifies any attempt correction. All this is to force a contract. Exactly. She is absolutely correct. I yield, bro.
It's like the same thing with the police when you don't have a license plate, but they're stopping you, trying to tell you you're in violation of something. Like, hey, buddy, I don't have a contract to be in violation of something. Or in the state of Nevada, that's cool. That in your state things are a certain way, but I'm failing to comprehend how the fuck that has anything to do with me.
It doesn't. It has nothing to do with you. That's the first thing that as soon as you said that, and I looked over. The first thing I saw.
Yeah,
Cruden versus Neil.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite ones. This probably be the last one I go over here, because I think this is a great way to take it out. But if you want to add something too, you can. Islam. So this was my second exhibit. This is a document that they failed to put on the record, because they said they were going to put all the documents in the dispute file on the public record, but they didn't. This is just one of the documents. So all the exhibits on here are documents that they failed to put on there.
Wow.
Just the original complaint. They didn't even put the original complaint on there. But this is the one right here. Governments derive their just powers from the consent of the governed, and absent of consent can only lack the lawful authority necessary to regulate private men, to presume jurisdiction over such non-consenting minds, and to exercise legislation with regard to such beings. Every man is independent of all laws except those prescribed by nature. He is not bound by any institution formed by his fellow men without his consent. Cruden versus Neil. So when they put, when they put in her briefing thing, she puts this BS right here. This is the utility tariff, rule number 10. The service contracts will not be required as a condition proceeding to service. What do you mean? No contract. What do you mean no contract is required? The definition of customer says there has to be some evidence.
It has to be, it has to be demonstrable evidence. In number 3, it said in number 2, it must be an application, right?
Evidence by signature.
Correct. Well, evidence by signature, right? So with that being said, what they're saying is they're going off of peril, because most people don't know, they don't call it peril, but peril, PAROL, is word of mouth or a verbal contract. So a lot of people, sometimes they call and have the electricity come to wherever they want the electricity to come to, and that's what they try and stand on. But that's why it's in a box. If you go back to your document, it's separate from whatever's outside of the box. So that's 2 separate documents on one page. See that?
Yeah, of course.
It's 3 separate documents, because Exhibit E is in the box. And then where it says rule number 10 contracts, that's in the box, which is separate from where it says Nevada Power, PO Box 230, all that at the top, talking about tariff number 1-B. And then, look, there's 3 more boxes. That's 6 different documents on one page.
So this is so funny that she's putting right here, and they had some good information to find probable cause, because I let them know right here. In addition, it must be noted that all methods of payment accepted by MV Energy require cash or a bank account. It is a fact that complainant is not authorized by law to use foreign currency term cash, i.e. Federal Reserve Notes per 12 USC 411. Nor do I meet the legal requirements needed to obtain legal instruments necessary to open and operate a bank account, rendering me financially disabled ipso jure, and making any request for me to pay an impossibility, unreasonable, and unjustly discriminatory.
Correct. Because you're trying to force my brother to be a Federal Reserve agent and give Federal Reserve notes when, again, there's no signature per application. There's no demonstrable evidence of any kind. So at the end of the day, this is people trying to avoid, they really wanted to use their attorney, right?
Yeah, but they couldn't, so they used this lady that works for the commission.
Well, if she's going to take that place, they're going to use Kelly Nichols instead of, who is it? Colin Harrow or some shit. Who is it?
Colin Harlow, yeah.
All right. So, because remember when Bro brought up attorneys' responsibilities near the Maryland State Republic, which are uniform because they're all under the American Bar Association and they're internationally exercised. His duty, even though he's near the Nevada State Republic, was supposed to point out these legalities that we pointing out. Like, oh shit, yo, nah, he right. Y'all can't do this. This man right. But Colin ain't doing that. Colin Harrow, he ain't doing that. He's on some like,
he just got quiet. Once I asked him for power of attorney, he stopped communicating. Nothing from him. There's only one letter from him. And then after that, I challenged him, so he hasn't said anything else. But look at this. Based upon the foregoing, Mr. R. Bey initiated the request to receive electric service at his premises. So they're saying, see, they're going with that number one, who receives or applies to receive residential gas or electric service. So they're saying, based upon the foregoing, Mr. R. Bey initiated the request to receive electric service at his premise. Premise has you got to prove it because premise has a definition under the Landlord Tenant Act, and this is not a premise. It would have to be military. But we can prove that whatever they believe, don't matter what they believe. Oh, it's landlord tenant is not for military. Okay, well, let's go into the statutes and read with me. So then
also to add to your wisdom, premises is also the stove, the microwave, the refrigerator, the dishwasher, and maybe the connected garage to the.
So this is how I know that the power is my property. The utility is my property. Why? Because this property is my property, and you can't say it's not, even if one is quote unquote allegedly renting or whatever. The landlord can never come up in here without my permission. No one can come in here without my permission unless they already stay here. So it's my property. And if you look at the definition of premise includes utilities. Even though this is not a premise by definition because it's not military, that means this is my property. The lights, the utility is my property as well. Now, can somebody take something from within your house without a warrant? Without your permission? They can't come in your house and seize anything. They can't seize anything from inside your house from the outside either.
Correct.
So when they disconnect the power, they're seizing your property without a probable cause for a warrant issued by Article 3 court against someone and property they have jurisdiction over. County can only exercise jurisdiction over county property. What makes you think that the court can issue a warrant for my private property?
9/10 of the law.
So at the end of the day, the power companies know because there's already people who don't transact for utility. Whether you guys believe it or not, whether you know anyone who's doing it or not, it's happening. There's people right now that are not transacting for these things. And these power companies, head officials know this. This is why power's still on. This is why, I mean, what do you want me to show you? The case law? Show them the case law, right? Let's show them the case law. Let's show them the case law. It's actually in the first original complaint. Why does it keep doing that? Okay. Let's show you right here. Right here. Where's it at? In today's society, now disconnection of service will create an insecurity in my house, causing damages by violating my fourth Bill of Rights, enforce the Constitution. To be secure in my house, as electricity is a necessity of life. See Jose J. Morin versus Duke Energy Carolinas LLC, 2014 NC PUC Lexus 926. NC Utilities, right? Common, whatever that stands for, right? July 11, 2014. Docket number E-7, sub 1054. Finding
Utilities
good cause.
Commission.
Huh?
That one right there was North Carolina Utilities Commission, July 11th. But go ahead, do your thing.
Islam. Finding good cause to deny utility the right to terminate the family's electric service. Listen, in today's society, electricity is a necessity of life. A home is not safe or healthy environment without electricity. Said actions of Envy Energy pertaining to termination of service will inflict additional enormous amounts of emotional distress upon me and my family. That's another cause of action that I'm going to get them for if they violate my rights. They're already trying to by sending attorneys and saying, there is an obligation. You are a customer. You did call and do this and this and that. Show and prove. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of the day, what are we doing this year?
Exactly. And I will say, because they're commenting about surnames and stuff, and I think surnames only pertain to Englishmen under English law. When you're speaking L's and B's, you have to go and look at documents, because a lot of things pertaining to Moorish Americans that's pertaining to United States citizens, they do not go together. So again, when beings violate their own Magna Carta, right? When they violate their own Magna Carta, they are violating the Zodiac Constitution. The Magna Carta is derived from the Zodiac Constitution. The Zodiac Constitution is the Moorish Moabite Zodiac Constitution. Certificate number in the Library of Congress, AA222141. That is Truth A1, which is in harmony with general and permanent character. So if these beings want to do business here, period, they must be doing it by consular venue, not Moors being consulates and things like that. We're home.
Exactly.
Foreigners should have a consulate here. That's what it is. So with that being said, I'm never in a mindset that, oh, well, this is the name that they think that I'm under. I don't give a fuck what they think. What do you say? And why don't you stand on your free speech?
And even that would be a lie, because once you tell them you proclaim for the record who you are, there's no reason for them to keep trying to call you by the old anything.
Because it's hearsay. Then you just read something about attorneys not having firsthand knowledge, or people making complaints
against attorneys without first personal knowledge.
So the dual-edged sword again. The flip is this: when you were made manifest and you came out your mom's vagina, and it was said that your mom called you something, can you really go back to that moment when you came out the pussy and was like, oh, you know what? She called me Morpheus. Oh, you know what? She called me Michael. Oh, you know what? She called me Delilah. You know what? Hold on. I think she called me Energy. I'm just saying, whoever's in the chat. Oh, you know what? You know what? I came out the pussy and my mama called me Javon. You know what? When I came out the pussy, my mama called me C. No, that's that you can't. It's hearsay. You know? And tribe just means families. No, these are the titles. These are the titles pertaining to our ancient foremothers and forefathers. Tribe is something corporate done by federal agency. So people calling themselves Indians and all this other crap, again, that's why I told you, refer to 25 United States Code 5304. And you will see the reason why they are Federal Reserve agents is because they have a collective bargaining agreement. That's why they're on federal reservations. Think about that. Really, think about that. So no, disrespecting L and Bey is you disrespecting why you're even here on this planet. You need to read resolution number 75. When you read resolution number 75, you know what I'm saying? When you read resolution number 75, you will see that they talk about a small group of Moors or small society of Moors who have, you know, earned the means to use their titles and earn. Motherfucker, what you talking about? This is my ancient foremothers and forefathers is either L or Bey. That L hyphen Bey stuff, that's bullshit, man. Like, I don't know why people don't. Yeah, that's man.
That's that Quachita.
Yeah, that's that Quachita stuff, man. Like
that cha-cha-cha.
That's people that feel a certain way about some empress and her land. Like, that's just what it is. Again, it's like, yo, stop being a fucking follower. However, our people are so dedicated. They just love being followers. Why don't y'all just do what we do and study? Go and challenge the stuff yourself. Stop looking for us to answer your questions. I'm going to give you my perspective, and I'm going to tell you, my perspective is, yo, this apple pie is so good. I love how the cinnamon and honey is distributed. So then the crust, God, man, it tastes like a cookie. However, you might bite into that pie and be like, I don't like apples. Okay, cool, whatever. That's not going to stop me from cutting me another slice.
Yeah.
So if you're not Moorish American and you're making comments about what being Moorish American is or isn't, you don't have firsthand knowledge. So when you come out the vagina and it said that your mother called you something by a birth certificate or something like that, all that is hearsay. Hearsay evidence is inadmissible in court. It could never be used. That's why every child has the right to a name and nationality. What'd you say, bro?
And it will never be used unless unless some idiot goes and brings it in there himself.
Flat out. Oh, well, here's his birth certificate. He calls himself Javon. His mother calls him Javon Lewis. And it's like, what? Nah, bro. At the end of the day, I really don't know what my mama called me. So you're going to refer to me as, you know what I mean, J-Bone, Blue-Eyes Bay or some shit. I don't know. Like, but at the end of the day, it's what do you call yourself? You see what I'm saying? If you ain't gonna have nobody call you a bitch, then don't let somebody call you what they said your mother called you, because they wasn't front and center at the pussy either. Like, hold on, bitch, let me just watch you push this baby out. Because that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna treat you like a bitch and say we found this baby out your pussy, and then put a foundling certificate on it. That's what a birth certificate is. I'm gonna put a foundling certificate on it. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. Stop it. That's what's happening for real. And we gotta have that mindset to really analyze that. So that's another reason why I tell people go to the Jurisprudence Gym. Go and check these different things out. Like, even when looking at like the Cancel CPS group, and was looking at what I had put there, bro. I'm trying to think.
It was the fact that they that whole thing you were saying about the war. That
was it like Title 46 Code of Federal Regulation? Was it that
I forget the site. However, I know that it was going in on, you were talking about how, matter of fact, another thing is that I just thought about that whole scenario is that according to the law that governs those programs, that CPS program, which is actually done by who again? CDC, right? The CDC. Yeah. There's portions of the laws in there that say they're not supposed to continue the program against, the consent of a parent. If the parent says don't take the baby, they're not supposed to take it.
Correct. Like, all right, so like because I'm just looking at it. I remember when I was looking at that particular group, 45 Code of Federal Regulations, public welfare. You see what I'm saying? The public welfare, Article 46, Subpart A. And when you look at 45 CFR, public welfare, Article 46, Subpart A, you see what I'm saying? You'll see this is dealing with Department of Health and Human Services, right? And it's called, Part 46 is protection of human subjects. And so to do this whole birth certificate shit, they gain their authority, like the Health and Human Services policy for protection of human research, because they research in humans, because you're an experiment.
Research experiment, indeed. Yes.
Yeah, you're a research experiment when you are not honoring your ancient foremothers and forefathers so that your days are long upon the earthland. Even if you're an Albion son or daughter, your position is to be a Moorish subject, ipso jure, if I'm not mistaken. I'm open for correction. However, the authority for that birth certificate instrument is under Title 5 United States Code 301. Further, it is 42 USC 289 and 42 USC 300 V1B, V-1B. You know what I mean? And that's being sourced from 56 Federal Register 28012, 28022, June 18th, 1991, unless otherwise noted, for real. So you can actually see some of these things that's in there. So again, shout out to Malika, Sonny, Keith, Bobby, everybody at the George Prudence Gym, McReal, I am, everybody, Am Woman, of course, my bros, you know what I'm saying? 7HealStar always in the spot, for real. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you already. So it's like, we thankful for all of y'all showing up, for real. Morpheus, I know he be in there. Tony, Steven, I'm just thinking of who I can think of, bro. It'd be like 100 of us in there now, for real. Joe, you know what I mean? Champ, you feel me? Like everybody. So, you know, everybody getting to it. Lawful Living, I think, is way more, is the most active social media platform pertaining to jurisprudence. You know what I'm saying? That's really out there right now, for real. And I'm glad that our beloved mother Oracle had introduced us to that in the beginning of, you know, because I was under instruction. And I think, you know, to the best that I saw, that I fulfilled my instruction, and then I just moved forward and expanding that instruction. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like the people got to really speak up now, for real. You know what I mean? And do what they do. You know what I mean? You have 7 days to make claim on the infant. Otherwise, the attorney, I guess she's saying the attorney general, I think you were saying, Mother Delilah, attorney general takes possession. But it does say attorney general. That's funny, because that's somebody trying to write your baby into something, right? Tribe just means family, Michael, honestly. And my thing is just like, if we just get back to just being one on the planet, because the rule is one mother's breast have given us all suck. So that's on 3 levels. The fact that we all come out of a vagina that we have to feed on the titties of, that's one mother, right? Because everybody got the same kind of mother that they come out of and then have to really suckle teeth. Then the second mother is the above mother, which really is how you got to the first mother. The above mother is the Milky Way. See, because it's galactic, you heard that? Lactic, Milky, lactic, Milky, galactic, Milky Way. As it is above, so it is below. So you come through the star gate, the vagina star gate, right? And then once you off the teat, after being descended from a star system coming through her star gate, now you gotta feed from the fruit, from the seeds planted in the earth, which is the third breast, Mother Earth. One mother's breast have given us all suck, from the Milky Way to her stargate, to the milk from her milking ways of her breast, to milking the earth of the fruit with the especial plants that come from the especial seeds planted in the soil. I yield.
It's long, bro. I got this notice on me from Megan Wilson, the electronic records specialist. I requested copies of 3 different warrants.
Mm-hmm.
They said the Las Vegas Municipal Court is in receipt of your request. No records pertaining to the above referenced documents were located in the Las Vegas Municipal Court system.
Which means they got rid of them shits.
Which means them shits never existed.
They don't want that smoky smoke. They don't want that smoke, bro. You know what I mean? They don't want it. They really don't.
If you can't produce a warrant, you can't act on it either. So it's like, or if you acted on it, now you're in violation. Not just because you can't produce it, you're in violation because you never had jurisdiction to issue it. So Jesus' jurisdiction is void.
Islam. And I think too, just to be respectful, bro, I think Morpheus, I think you need to stay away from all them bonds and stuff, bro. I think you just need to just stick to disqualifying attorneys, disqualifying judges or whatever, you know what I'm saying, so that your spirit can be in the right place. I'm telling you, man, like Prophet Noble Drew Ali is the prophet. I get it. However, anybody that has copper tone skin, me and Aura just went over this Sunday. There's no copper tone being who could ever be Christian. Not confidently. Anybody copper tone talking about they dealing with the Lord, hallelujah, Jesus Christ and all that. If you don't comprehend the higher science on that on metaphysical tip, and I'm not saying that's you, Morpheus. What I'm saying is I'm just speaking to an overall spirit and being. I'm telling you, you gotta get with Prophet Noble Drew Ali, not on some convert to Moorish science. Like it's not a religion, it's science. We're demonstrating the science online, on YouTube, openly, every Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Because real religion is science.
Period.
And that's like it's not the religious, it's not the Moorish religious temple of America. It's the Moorish science temple.
Correct.
Established after the holy temple of science, again, not temple of religion.
Correct. And I get it. It's a lot of temples out there that are being maladministered by people that's going to say, yeah, Mo, don't you mess with those Muslims, Mo. They with that Taj Tariq Bayiteness. Now, look, we don't let people hold us under their thumb. You see what I'm saying? This ain't no penitentiary shit. This ain't no, you gonna be the big man on the tier trying to, it will never be that. Even in those situations, you see what I'm saying? So even you know, Moorish Americans that may be inside the joint, you see what I'm saying, that should not be there, especially like I said, if you're not creating an offense to doing a bodily injury, you know what I mean, thing, I don't care whether it was pushing a substance, whatever. You're not a federal agent. However, you don't know how to write yourself out of that situation and study and do what you need to do and stay on good behavior just because that's what you're supposed to do. You see what I'm saying? You're not supposed to come out here jugging and finessing. That's not how this go. What you say, bro?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Those principles are first and foremost. Those divine principles are first and foremost. So that's without even being said. Just because of your 5 principles, you shouldn't be out here doing that. So remember, anybody who violates that will receive their just word from Allah. So it is what it is.
Let me just go on this real quick, bro, because I want to make sure I'm clear that we deal with science. We don't deal with any form of dogma or belief system. So I want people to be clear that B.A.R is where the word Hebrew comes from. An Israelite is one who is left mental bondage to sense consciousness and has moved forward to living a life in spiritual consciousness. So Hebrew is derived from the term B.A.R, right? Let's just do this. Let's just do this, bro. That's funny too. You see, I got your joint right here too, bro. So I could have shared it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's her joint, but I know what you.
Yeah, Islam. I think I got the other one. If not, it's still in
Well, the other one's up there on the website now too, so anybody can view it. It's public record.
Islam. Well, that's what it's supposed to be. So where am I going, y'all? Let's go to Veritas real quick before I do the invocation out, right? Let's go to Veritas. Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. I hope this the right one. Supposed to have 174 pages, 175. Yeah, that's good. All right. So I want to type in this. I want to type in B.A.R, right? And let's see. Boom, 104, right? So I want y'all to be able to see what B.A.R actually is, right?
The top right?
No, it's at the bottom. I'm just trying to zoom in. I was trying to take it off.
Bottom left? Okay, got you.
B.A.R is just planets, bro. So every time somebody say Hebrew, you just talking about the planets, bro.
Wandering Hebrews or Hebrews, the planets.
Mm-hmm. Period. That's
Jesus
it.
Christ.
That's all, because all these so-called holy books are just astromasonical. We're dealing with astromasonry. When we tell you we more scientists, we're not playing. We do this for real. Those that are with Prophet Noble Drew Ali today were with him 2,000 years ago. Those that are against Prophet Noble Drew Ali today were against him 2,000 years ago. People fell trying to be Christian, Hebrew, Israelite, all these other things that are idol God worship, idolatry, idol God worshipers. That's why we went and showed y'all what we showed y'all Sunday. To show y'all that this is what we got to stop. So when people say Hebrew Israelite, all right, boom, Hebrew is planet. So you just said planet. Now let's find Israelite. And again, what book is this? This is dealing with Veritas. Shout out to Brother Taj for suggesting one of the good mothers to share this with me. But you want to see the title? This, and it's in Prophet Noble Drew Ali University. I've been giving people access to this. But if you don't study, you don't look for what we give you free access to, that's on you. Veritas, Revelation of Mysteries, Biblical, Historical, and Social. When we go over this, we got a 14 video playlist here on 7HealStar, All Rights Reserved YouTube channel. By means of the, say that again?
Triple towel.
Yeah, straight up. That is the triple towel, right under the median and Persian laws. Triple towel, showing you the sun is exalted in Aries, and it's also giving you a 6 point also, which really, you really know how to rightly use these things. It's a wrap. You'll be able to read astrology on a whole nother level, which is what me and my brothers utilize, because I've already put together certain tools already. You will see it in those videos in that playlist for Veritas. So Hebrew just means the planets. Anybody calling themselves Hebrew Israelite and they don't know astrology, they're a fraud. Respectfully. I'm not being mean. I have to tell the truth. So now with that, let's go to Metaphysical Bible Dictionary by Charles Fillmore, because you're going to need more than one reference so that you can bring these things together. So B.A.R is planets, right? Now let's go to Israelite. Right? Let's find I. Right? Let's go to Israelite. Two seconds, y'all. Appreciate your patience in advance. I'm at Isra. I still got that joint highlighted. You want to read that, bro? Oh, hold on. I'll read it. Israelites, descendants of Jacob. When you know what Jacob is, you know that you're dealing with when you can see the stars in Sagittarius, sidereally speaking, when the sun is sidereally in Gemini.
I can read it, bro.
Jacob wrestled with the angels, right? Since people was talking about tribes and of Israel, all this is astro-masonics we dealing with. So because when you see when my brother read the metaphysical portion, and I even got them portions highlighted, you're going to see that B.A.R is dealing with planets, right? And a consciousness within yourself. And then you're going to see how further Israelite is a consciousness, just like Jesus or Yeshua is the I am identity. Jesus is you. It's a consciousness within inside you. And when you get from Egypt, which Egypt is mental bondage to sense consciousness. So don't call yourself Egypt. Don't call yourself Misraim, because that's mental bondage to sense consciousness. Only an idiot would name themselves that or correct their appellation to Egypt or Misraim. You're putting energy on yourself that is not good. Belonging to one of the tribes of Israel. You know what the tribes of Israel are? It's the different signs pertaining to the zodiac. Period. It's the different signs pertaining to the zodiac.
Oh.
Right? It's all good, man. Whatever people shame, we gonna tell you the truth. Oh yeah, Mother Energy. I still got your rings. You know what I mean? I just re-epoxied some new you know what I put, the new caps to them. You see what I'm saying? So I really need another blue one, like the blue and gold ones that you know, blue and copper ones. I need that one again too. I will be making an order. So I'm glad you're here. You must have heard my thoughts a couple of days ago when I was putting these together. But yeah, I like to keep my organite on me. So yeah, Mother Energy is the one that provided the organite. I just was like, you know what? I want to always have it on me. So I epoxied them to some things that would fit my fingers. You already know how I be getting down with bottle caps. So I'm always MacGyvering some things. You already. I yield, bro.
Oh, Islam. Metaphysical definition pertaining to Israelites is the illuminated thoughts in consciousness, which are undergoing spiritual discipline. They are the total of our religious thoughts. In the beginning of our journey from sense consciousness to spiritual consciousness, from Egypt to the promised land. Not all these religious thoughts are awake to spiritual truth, but among them are the highly illuminated ideas and faculties that the many inspired leaders, judges, prophets, and kings of Israel represent.
So in other words, that's being a scientist. So when you know the workings of nature and can master them and foresee them based on the patterns observed, that's called science. So therefore, science is making sure that one is able to comprehend effectively by trial and error over time, well documented and passed down to the descendants therefrom those that did the science prior to them. So you cannot really enjoy nature if you don't comprehend it. Again, when we introduced to you guys when we was on office hours with Dr. G, this Tuesday that just passed, we showed y'all the Farmer's Almanac. So you can talk about nature all you want. However, to make sure you eat, you need to know when that moon is where it is and how it moves so that you can be able to get the best out of it. So the best scientists are astrologers.
No, Brother Hasan, I don't need the moon to eat. I just need a Federal Reserve bag.
even that's ruled some way, shape.
I just need this EBT. I just need this EBT card.
That's funny because moon rules silver, sun rules gold, and Jupiter rules the expansion pertaining to those periods. So that's very important, like for real. So when it comes to Hebrew Israelite, you're talking about planets, illumined thoughts in planetary illumined thoughts in consciousness. So if these are beings that do not comprehend I mean, you can get a karaoke machine and spit out Bible verses all you want. However, if you don't comprehend that those Bible verses are well defined here for your own edification being within, because those quote unquote scriptures are tied to your endocrine system and levels pertaining to consciousness within you. Don't believe nothing I say. When you go and read these books and see that everything pertains to your mindset and your consciousness, look, how many times are you looking at the word consciousness?
The truth and the divine truth.
What does the Israelites represent, bro?
Represents the thoughts in us that belong to the Israel consciousness.
And what is a prophet?
A prophet is a thought of Allah manifested in flesh.
So I mean, do y'all see the pattern that we, and you see how, like, I'm not trying to like show off, like, look how easy it is. You know, I'm just saying, when you really study. You got to come out of Egypt. You got to come out. Egypt is mental bondage to sense consciousness. Oh, how do you get your hands on this book? Let me tell you how you get your hands on this book. You go to I was about to say RV Bay Publications. You go to well, first of all, I might have it in the in some descriptions in some YouTube channels. However, if you go to Instagram, right, and you go to 7HealStar's Instagram or OurAstrologyStreet's Instagram, and you go and click on the link tree in our profile on either 7HealStar or on OurAstrologyStreet, and you click the link tree in the profile, the first link is Prophet Noble Drew Ali University. It doesn't cost you anything. It's not going to cost you anything. It's not going to be after a year we take it away from you. That's not what the charge is. The charge that Prophet Noble Drew Ali gave to Seer Moors is, in order to change the people, you must change their literature. Y'all just got to go into the literature that's being provided for you without asking for us to get in your pockets in any kind of way. Your biological pockets, that's a vagina. Your purse or your pockets pertaining to your jeans or pants. That's not what we're interested in. What we're interested in is you recognizing there's babies here on this planet. It's children here. And we, mothers and sons, have to do what is necessary. We grown mothers and grown sons must do what is necessary to make sure that we comprehend these things and enforce the law. That's why you see Ashkenazis that wear yarmulkes domiciling, exercising your birthright, and barely stressing, besides probably the young ladies that's dealing with them old men that stay knocked up. No disrespect. Just keeping it a band with you, right? Yes, it's tied to the endocrine system. When you're talking about chakras, you're talking about your endocrine system. So that's all we're dealing with. You see what I'm saying? Because we need to get out of the mythical thinking. You see what I'm saying? So being a Hebrew Israelite is not having a karaoke machine shouting Bible verses out on the corner. Being a Hebrew Israelite is one who has planetary illumined thoughts and consciousness. Period. That's what this is, because every planet rules a part of the body. Every sign of the zodiac is a part of the body. Remember, it's man, know thyself, and thy father God Allah. Father is the process which mother chooses to call upon. God is to call upon. Allah is all balanced law pertaining to the zodiac. That's according to my studies thus far. You see how I just, that's how the apple pie tastes. That's what I just did when I just said all of that. I'm just telling you how the apple pie tastes when I tasted it. Who knows what you may say when you taste it. Right? Oh, it's Islam, mother energy. That's love. I'm gonna have to because I be traveling. So whatever location I be at when I'm at that location, that's what I'm gonna do. Because my beloved mother mistress consort said we gotta get a PO box anyway, for real. So I'm like, all right, that's cool. I would much rather have a Group E post office box, because Group E post office boxes, you don't have to transact for. They're quote unquote free or whatever. I know everything is prepaid though. You know what I'm saying? Because this is my ancestral estate. And like Brother R just read in Article 1, Section 8, we're supposed to be doing what we do. All right. However, I know East Coasting it is 11:52. I know Brother R, it's 23:52. I know Brother R is what? 20:52 where you are. Right. So Islam. So just wanted to share that with y'all. Right. So y'all already know 9 times out of 10, I'm not saying we can answer any and all questions. I'm just saying we've done more than enough study that we can at least lead you in the right direction into correcting your concepts for real. And I want y'all to, go back and look at this a few times for real. Take notes and really see what Brother R has shared, even though in between time I'm ad-libbing or giving my thoughts and my portions. Really pay attention to what Brother R is sharing, because he's demonstrating effectively what needs to be done. What needs to stop being done completely on a larger scale is what needs to stop is, let me see what you do first and then I'll try. Let me see how you sit. No, fuck all that. Everybody needs to do it at the same time.
I didn't have no example to go off of when I decided to run off their little plantation, because that's really what it is. You're on the plantation when you're complying with the BS. The first thing that an enemy does when they conquer a people is like they go to where the people live and they start charging them rent. Like that's standard colonial procedure.
Mm-hmm.
Go to these huts and charge them rent. How are we gonna pay you rent? We don't have any money. See that mountain right there? Start digging.
Start carving a hole in it so we can make a train go through
it. Oh yeah, well, here you gonna get that rent for us.
Exactly.
That's slavery, bro.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, what's not slavery? Because you didn't build the house. Well, they didn't build the fucking dirt. They didn't build the cement. They didn't build. They didn't build the trees.
Correct.
You can plant a tree, can't make that motherfucker grow.
Bruh, you so on point that it's ridiculous that it's not so many people on it. And like we said, we've been on R.E. Bey publications. When I got introduced to the jurisprudence gem, it's just making us stronger in concepts we already comprehended. So it's beautiful that every Tuesday and Thursday, you know what I mean, to be in the midst of people that share their concepts too, you know what I mean? Because we all have our own perspectives. However, we already know wherever we go, we Moorish American going in, and when we leave, we still Moorish American. Flat out. Period. I mean, hippies. It was calling me, bro. I'm about to smash them. You know, we still got that Abyssinian food, so. I know it's still some injured out here.
You about to make me make a late night trip,
bro. It's funny because it's just going on 9 o'clock there, so yeah, you good, right? You know
yeah. Oh, you know them joints don't be closing until like 3 a.m. and shit. Anyway,
sheesh.
Yeah, they be closing like, one of them don't close till like 5 a.m. and then they open back up like at 11.
Word.
Yeah.
And that's fucking bananas, bro. I wonder who's doing them shifts, because I couldn't close out and come open up. I'd be like,
oh no, you know they probably got somebody different.
Yeah, they got to be shifting. Seriously. But I think we're good. Yeah, I mean, everybody that showed up, even those of you that may be here under appellations that aren't Moorish American, that's all good, because, you know, in order to change the people, you must change their literature. So I trust that we did some good in sharing the literature with you. You know what I mean? I already know, like, my bro go hard. You see what I'm saying? Shout out to all our brothers, though, on some real shit. Like, shout out to Brother Terrell, Tamari Bey. Huge shout out to Exalted Cyclops.
Yes.
Right? And our beloved brother in whom we're well pleased, Brother Braveheart, Sean, Alim L. Because we all are each other's strengths. You see what I'm saying? And we all make sure that we have what we need. And that's why we share how we share every Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. You know what I mean? And do our best to, you know, stay strong and do it. I mean, do the people come and support like they should? I think more people are coming support for real. Because the only thing we actually sincerely, quote unquote, ask for eleemosynary tuition for is the astrology. However, I do say if you want to come for civics joints or whatever, I do my best that even when people ask me for civics concept corrections, I do my best to include my brother R. I really do. And when people donate, I always split the donation with my bro. You see what I'm saying? Even if it's like, remember when, like the most recent one I did, I was like, bro, come on. He's like, man, I got to handle some B.A.R. So even when you just did a couple of things, I was like, fuck it, I'm still hit you with something. You know what I mean?
Love.
Yeah, something, bro. I mean, and that's not to like, ooh, look at me and what I'm doing. I'm not being sedity about the shit. I'm just saying, like, y'all want to really have concept correction classes and stuff like that. When it comes to civics, we don't put a number on it because it wasn't done like that to us. However, respect our energy. You see what I'm saying? Like, we will accept the donation. Respect it. Don't just be like, oh, here's $5. And I'm telling you, we're going to look at that 2 notes and 50 cents each and be like, yeah, yo, they want to reach out again. Yo, we not answering. We've done that to a few people already. It's like we give people like 3 sessions, help them out. They talking about they gonna look out, and then when they finally look out, it'd be disrespectful. That's all I'm gonna say. It'd be disrespectful, shorty, like for real. However,
because a lot of it is like I think one of the best things that we do is show people how to research, like as far as like what is your issue, what is the problem, why do you have a what is the sum that needs to be solved. Like once you know what the issue is, oh, this agency is fucking with you, okay, what is the state that they're organized under? Oh, okay, here's the laws they're organized under. Oh, okay. And you know, knowing already the basic principles, you know, dealing with the Constitution, right? Having understanding of that, having an understanding of due process of law, right? How things should go anyways, right? Court rules. So this whole rule thing, we might have to do a part 2 on this. I don't know, but what I do know is that there's court rules. There's, you know,
yeah, we are
civil rules, criminal rules. Yeah, civil rules, criminal rules. There's rules of civil procedure, rules of criminal procedure, rules of appellate procedure, rules of professional conduct, you know, rules of the road. And it's like, we're not studying this because we need to abide by it. We're studying this because it can be utilized for those who do need to abide by it. As a reminder, a law memorandum, like, yo, you remember that you got this duty? Exactly. Well, I just reminded you so that you can't play dumb later. For whatever reason. You know what I mean? It's long. Just oh man, I thought you was a balloon. You know, I got, you know, all those balloons. I had a bunch of balloons from baby girl's solar return, and like they just be moving like throughout the room like they're sentient beings because the air just be moving them around. Turn around like, oh shit, what the, like I came in the door the other day. I forgot what I went to go get, like some onions or something. When I came back through the door, bro, the first thing when I opened the door, the Pikachu was a golden Pikachu. Because he did like a Pokemon theme. Pikachu came rushing at me. I was like, oh snap, bro. That shit startled me because I'm like coming in my door and it comes from behind the door like, yo, damn balloons out of here.
Give him the it man. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah, I almost Wing Chun that balloon.
That's just a balloon. Hold on, I'm about to Wing Chun the fuck out of Pikachu. Well, what I'll do is I'll you know, guys, like I said, you want to get in contact with us, it's a DM away. If you're on Instagram, TikTok, you know, TikTok, we just really kind of just advertise on. And shout out again to brother Sean Alim. I think the last time I checked TikTok, yo, we was at about For the hashtag 7HealStar, I think we're at about maybe 415.7K views. You know what I mean? Like
TikTok, the 7HealStar TikTok is jumping.
Yeah, it's past like, and it's the hashtag 7HealStar, because you utilize it, I utilize it, Brother Sean utilize it when we post. So, and then you already know who 7HealStar is. So anybody else tagging 7HealStar and it's not, you already know it's not on the up and up. If it's some bullshit or some fuck shit, you know, we ain't put it up. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real, we ain't put it up. However, gracefully, it's been good. You know what I mean? And so even if you just go to TikTok, type in 7HealStar and click on hashtags, you'll see it's like about 415, maybe 416K views for that joint. Like, it's serious, right?
So, yo, I'm looking at some of the stuff you tagged me in.
Yeah, but I tag you in everything. Usually, I try not to forget to tag everybody.
Sometimes I'm not used to having TikTok, so I rarely even check it because I don't even think about it.
Yeah. So RICO Bey on TikTok, 7HealStar on TikTok, AstrologyStreet on TikTok, Leo Mercury Moore 711. That's Brother Sean's joint. Leo Mercury Moore 711, all one word. And Brother Sean got a second one too. Official 720 Astro Healing. Astro, SASTRAL, right? Astral Healing. You guys want to get like the sweatshirts and stuff? Because I was using Bonfire. I'm gonna keep it a band with you. After a certain amount of time, it just looks like, you know, if you really wear it, wash it, eventually whatever iron on they use at Bonfire, because I don't make those shirts and whatnot.
Yeah,
it eventually like chips away or come apart or whatever. You see what I'm saying? However, the hoodies are definitely warm.
Oh, I'm rocking mine right now. I'm not gonna lie, I want the one with the telescope though.
I was thinking about doing a third one, right? And doing a one with the double logo with the emoji with looking at the microscope for the and the one with the telescope, so the as above, so below. For the telescope microscope joint, you know what I'm saying, which is our, you know, our logo, and putting that on a t-shirt through Bonfire. So how Bonfire works, Bonfire is like a GoFundMe but with shirts or whatever. And no, it don't be jumping, you know what I'm saying. However, I mean, I ain't taxing either, for real. Like, people usually run those types of campaigns, and like, I ain't gonna front, like, even my peoples was like, man, you should up that, man. You know what I mean? Your hoodie should be at least like anywhere between 50 and 75. I'd be like, my astrology reading should be $330 an hour. Honestly, a mirror session for 3 hours should cost you 10 notes shy of 1,000.
Right.
Honestly, 10 units shy of 1,000 through CashApp. But we only asked for 153, even though it's damn sure worth the $990. Don't get it fucking twisted.
Right.
However, we're not robbing people out here. We're not taking from people. You feel me? We're not on that BS. However, I know I do need to wrap this up, man. I know we probably been live for like 3-4 hours, bro. I know how we go in, bro. You know what I mean? And I need to go shower and get ready for the big day tomorrow, man. Me and my babies. So let me see what they saying. I don't anything but here. We appreciate you, Mother Energy, indeed. Thank you to everybody that showed up. I know it got up to about 17 people. It's down to 11. I appreciate y'all for being sincere. I don't know about TikTok. What y'all got for Sarah Genesis? I don't really know what that is. See, I really don't. But we on Facebook. You see what I'm saying? Hasan Ghaziel Bey on Facebook, Astrology Street on Facebook, RICO Bey on Facebook, Sean Alim Corey Bey on Facebook, Instagram, Jaguar Soul _ that's Brother Terrell, 7HealStar and Astrology. Our Astrology Street is me on 7HealStar, because it's 2 accounts usually. RICO Bey, Paragon RICO on Instagram for Brother R, those 2 accounts. 720 Astro Healing is Brother Sean on Instagram. One Heart Supplements for your CMOS from the Exalted Cyclops, Brother Corey Bey. So you guys can get the raw sea moss gel that he processes himself. He makes it into the gel himself.
Yes.
Me, my beloved mother, Mistress Consort, and our son, we take the sea moss, we mix it in our smoothies for real. Brother Corey also has core_movement_ for you to do your online yoga sessions if you want to check them out there. If you go to 7HealStar.com to the About Us page, you can also get in contact with us via social media through our About Us page at 7HealStar.com. All of us are listed, from Brother Corey to Brother Terrell, Brother Sean, Brother R, and myself. We're all listed there to get in contact with. Brother Corey also has 84 Core, because Brother Corey writes music, so does Brother Aura. So 84 Core and Paragon RICO are the accounts where they actually share some of their music writing that they've done and presented. So it's a lot of social media, different platforms that we quote unquote administer, I guess, with lack of better terminology at this moment. But we're being trusting with them, right? So indeed, and to Mother Delilah, Mother Energy, everyone here, Javon, C, Michael, everybody that commented, we appreciate you all right? And as you can see, we like it when you interact in the chat, and we interact with you also. What'd you say, bro?
I said, yeah, happy holy day to all the Moors, Islam.
Indeed, happy holy Venus degree. We want to close on out as we open with our invocation out, termed the Moorish American prayer. We're going to have 5 appendages on the left hand extended, 2 appendages on the right. We're going to face east with our feet on the 45. And you can repeat after me aloud or in your heart. Islam.
Islam.
Islam. Allah, the Father of the universe.
Allah, the Father of the universe.
Father of love.
Father of love.
Truth.
Truth.
Peace.
Peace.
Freedom.
Freedom.
And justice.
Justice.
Allah is my protector.
Allah is my protector.
My guide.
My guide.
And my salvation.
My salvation.
By night.
By night.
And by day.
By day.
To his holy prophet.
His holy prophet.
Noble Drew Ali.
Ali.
Amen. We appreciate you all. Thank you all so much. Everyone, get your rest and recharge. Said Sega Genesis. Yo, that is funny, bro.
Yeah.
Yo, you're hilarious, bro. Hey, look, when you go to the TikTok or you go to the Instagram, 7HealStar Instagram or OurAstrologyStreet, there's a number for anybody to call me internationally. You can call or text. If I don't answer when you call, I will get a email that lets me know. You can ask Mother Energy. She'll tell you. You know what I'm saying? That's how I usually find out. Like, damn, I miss somebody calling. You know it. I'll get an email or whatever. But that's the Google Voice line. It's public, 443-376-8764. 443-376-8764. We're not unapproachable. We just keep things 100 and we don't waste time. You know what I'm saying? Because we do a community service every Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday that we don't really get compensated for. You know what I'm saying?
7HealStar has reached 400 subscribers.
Oh, wow. Really?
400 subscribers, bro.
Wow, that's amazing. I'm so funny because, I mean, I know Astrology Street, our Astrology Street YouTube channel has up to like 500 something subscribers. We know that dealing with the children, you know what I mean? The puppet show with the children teaching astrology for your little ones as well as you, right? So we thank y'all, anyone who has subscribed, and Islam to you all, and you all rest and recharge well, okay? Make sure you get your rest and recharge. And when you come back and look at this video or any other video of any sincere Moors, always do your due diligence and take notes. If you got stuff to do and you feel you can't sit down and study, just play it like music in the background. Put it on a Bluetooth speaker, go and wash the dishes, clean the tub, take trash out, whatever, just play it.
I know a lot of people around my age, you know what I mean? They grew up listening to the radio. So y'all let that radio play in the background, let these videos play in the background like the radio.
Islam, that's what I do. I ain't gonna front, like when we listen to the George Prudence Jam, like I'll turn Malika up while I'm washing dishes, you know what I'm saying? Or you know what I'm saying? Or I'm printing out, you know, literature, whatever. When I'm printing out literature, I'll turn on Brother Taj. You feel me? Or I'll go back and look at our videos, you see what I'm saying? Or put on something else from the George Prudence Jam at Lawful Living, you see what I'm saying? To just keep myself in that mode for real. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that don't stop me from knowing music. I really think studying makes me way more, makes me a better writer for real. Being able to read makes me a better writer. I see that you just requested Prophet Noble Drew Ali University. You only wanted Weddy Toss, bro? Not the whole thing? Some people only want, okay, you only want the...
Man, it's a whole library.
Yeah, it's a whole library. You might as well. If you don't want to join Prophet Noble Drew Ali University, that's fine. Only 2 people asked for the Quran tonight. I see that. But Michael said he wants Weddy Toss and more. Cool. No problem. Let me give you access right now before we yield. Just to let you know, I get the email and I just send that joint for real. Like, just give you access. Can that be seen? I'm trying to think if it can be seen.
Yeah, you can see it now.
Yeah. So Michael just requested Weddy Toss. So there you go.
Islam.
So with that being said, I'm gonna yield the floor, y'all. And I appreciate y'all. Y'all rest and recharge well, all righty?
It's 9:13.
It's not, man. I'm sorry. You already know I'm about to get my
It's Jesus right now.
What'd you say?
9:13. It's Jesus right now. It's
Jesus.
I am. It's the I am. It's the I am right now. Islam.
It's the I am hour.
Yeah, it's the Jesus hour.
I think before I jump in the kayak, man, I'm about to play some of that Call of Duty Mobile, bro. You already for real.
Yeah.
So, man, if you go out there and get yourself a snack, bro, travel safely. You already, bro.
Oh yeah, probably not tonight. I was thinking about it, but shoot, we just got a big Amazon order anyway, so
Well, cook it up.
Islam.
Yeah, tell sis, the nieces and the nephew, so that we all say Islam, peace and love, all right, bro?
Islam, bro.
And to you all, namaste, 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 Islam, 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 y'all. Peace and love.
Peace and love. Happy holiday.